What's up, everybody? Welcome to MTGV Crime Podcast. Grand Rising, everyone. Shout out to everybody in the building. Please smack that thumbs up if you have not. So, today we're going to be talking about Andre Hill. This is a case that I covered back in 2020, December 22nd of 2020. Now, this is an officer involved unaliving. And this guy, Adam Coy, he was so trigger happy. Let me show y'all how quickly this happened. This first video that I'm going to play is about 36 seconds. So that's how long it took him to take this man out. And it's taken them 4 years to finally take it to trial. I mean, it's been delays on top of delays, and it's been a lot of money spent on this trial. Now, a very interesting thing about this is in Franklin County, there has been plenty of cops charged with unaliving someone, but never actually found guilty. This is the first time. So we definitely want to look at this with all the cases we've been covering over here concerning unaliving of unarmed black people or unsuspected black people, being, Javion McGee, the case we've been covering. These cases, they infuriate me the most, but they are so important because we need to pay attention, because they're getting away with it by, like in this case, I knew that I made a mistake. My bad. I'm sorry. Well, that don't bring Andre Hill back or none of the other unarmed people that they unalive. And I'm just sick and tired of it, but we want to pay attention to what's going on. Shout out to Jay Glover in the building. And shout out to Emmanuel P. Welcome in. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Let me pull this up. Look how quick, man. Oh, shoot, I already had it expanded. So, because this trial did begin and already ended, so I'm also going to play some clips of the trial, the opening statements, and he took the stand. So I find that very interesting. And we're going to see what happened in this. It's important to pay attention to what happens to one, because, it's like they've been avoiding this for the longest, because they understand that if one person get convicted, then that welcomes a lot of other ones after that. And let me just hit play. Dang it, I was trying to catch it before it did that. So as you see, he was standing there holding his phone up. He was standing there holding his phone up. So when I first seen this video, is it paused or what? Okay, hold on. So when this first happened, I didn't know all the details. Obviously, none of us did. I just remember seeing a man coming out of a garage with one of his hands up. He was holding a phone in his hand. I didn't know that this cop had already approached him prior to him and this garage incident. So what happened is somebody in the neighborhood called the police because there was a truck parked outside, suspicious, I guess, to them because it kept starting and he kept turning the car off and turning it back on. So it was December. For whatever reason, the lady that he was going to visit or pick up, he was going to pick her up. He was waiting outside for a couple hours, I guess. And he would turn his engine on to keep warm. He would turn it off to not waste gas. That drew somebody's attention. This cop had approached him, and I guess the cop, I remember hearing that the cop approached him and he like went parked down the street to kind of watch him to see what he does. It's like, don't y'all have something else better to do? All the crime that's going on, you worried about this man parked anyway. So he parked there waiting on him, and at some point, Andre gets out of his truck and knock on the door. The person didn't answer, and I guess from there, and they said he was banging on the door, but I guess from there, he went to the garage. So when the cop was coming up to him, he was trying to show him the message that, the lady had just texted him she was going to be ready in a minute. So that's just, a little bit about the case. And this man did nothing wrong. He did not have a weapon in his hand. But the first thing this dude want to yell, gun, gun, gun. And it was keys, from my understanding. So Andre didn't put up both of his hands when he showed him he was only trying to show him the phone. He really wasn't trying to put up his hands. He was trying to show him the phone. So his other hand had his keys in it. And what they do after that says a lot. So don't cry now. Don't cry on the stand now. Okay? Because that's exactly what he was doing at some point. So let me play this video, y'all. Warning, the video, it shows an unarmed black man who later passed away. But this person is explaining the video pretty good. So I thought we could play this.
Just moments after Andre Hill walked out of a garage at a house where he was a guest, he was shot by police.
Put your hands out to the side. Hands out to the side now. Roll to your stomach.
Now he did that. Hands off to the side. Come on.
Now.
Body cam footage from officers in Columbus, Ohio, appears to show Andre Hill.
I didn't know they was going to show it. God dang.
Live as he lay wounded on the ground.
That's too much.
Without giving any first aid. Mr. Hill was wearing a black light.
I did not know this. I should have played this a little bit.
It then took between 5 and 13 minutes before.
Okay, I can't show this one. Hold on.
Thank you for joining us. Off, we start with new developments tonight in the shooting death of Andre Hill. Hill was shot and killed more than a week ago. By now.
Okay, so they're gonna show a little bit, but I didn't want to show all that. That's a little bit too graphic. But I mean, our trigger warnings is all up, but that's too graphic. Like, no. So on this one, I think it's gonna be covered on here, but you see how quick it happened. They did not render aid. This man sat there. He was there for like 5 minutes before anything, anybody tried to help him. And it could have been longer than that. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play.
former Columbus police officer Adam Coy. Coy was responding to a disturbance call and said he thought Hill had a gun, which was not the case. Hill's family is now calling for Coy to be charged. Now, this comes as new body camera video released by the city shows us exactly what happened the minutes before Hill died. And we must warn you, some of this video is disturbing. In fact, the police chief called it horrifying. But the family wants the public to see this video to understand their grief and their calls for justice tonight. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Bennett Haverly with a closer look at the actions of the other officers on the scene.
What happened here?
We just got an officer-involved shooting. That's all we know.
Newly released body camera footage does show Columbus police officers performing chest compressions on Andre Hill, but they appear to happen several minutes after he was shot by Officer Adam Coy.
Keep going. You guys need another medic to help you? Yeah. Are we going to transport him? If you could, please. That's fine. We'll just do CPR. We can get an IV and stuff. Let me go get the other stuff.
The compressions began at least 12 minutes after Coy shot an unarmed Hill, who was holding a cell phone walking out of the
12 minutes is when compression started after he was hit.
garage of a friend's home at the time. Police were called to this area of Oberlin Drive on December 22nd for a non-emergency complaint.
You were here? Tell me where you were.
Over by the house. I didn't shoot.
Huh?
I didn't shoot. I didn't see what he saw.
Where was that at?
He was here. Adam.
You shot?
This is body camera footage from Officer Amy Detweiler, who was on scene with Officer Coy when he shot Hill. The now fired Officer Coy claimed he saw a gun, but police did not recover a weapon. Nearly 12 minutes into Detweiler's body camera video, which started after Hill was shot, officers can be seen standing over Hill, and EMS has not yet arrived. 2 minutes before this.
And that's another thing that's annoying. Like, I mean, they should not be able to have a body cam footage turned off at no point in time. It should always be on when they're approaching somebody. And then the other thing that's stupid is that the audio don't pop in until it's like a 60-second delay. The most important part of it. And that's only because they're cutting it off and on whenever they feel like it.
Where's the medic? For the love.
Detweiler can be heard wondering aloud why an ambulance still isn't on scene. Internal Affairs investigators are looking into what the chief called a protracted delay by officers in aiding Hill.
Marty, where do you guys need us?
I don't know, buddy.
Okay.
Some officers arrive not knowing the full details of what happened, while others stand over Hill in the video. By phone, Chief Quinlan told 10 Investigates today, "There are a few people involved who I'm bothered with," he said, adding that he wondered why they didn't do more. He did not name specific officers, as the investigation is in its infancy, and they will have an opportunity to explain their actions.
Let's cuff him up. He's still moving.
Y'all
The
hear,
body
did you
camera
hear
video
this
shows
shit?
officers
Oh my God. Did you hear this? Let's cuff him up. He's still moving.
handcuffed Hill several minutes before they began offering aid, and that only came after the encouragement of another officer.
Anybody doing anything for? Nigga, so we contact the
Wow. Negative. We've contacted the medics.
City records show EMS arrived 15 minutes after Hill was shot.
15
Based on these
minutes.
body camera videos, the chest compressions began roughly 3 minutes before that. Bennett Haverly,
Okay,
10 TV
clear.
News.
So he laid
Now,
there
earlier today, Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginn
for 12 minutes. No urgency. Nobody cared. I mean, they just another black man that we act. My bad. But you know what? In the other video, the cop had the nerve to ask for support for himself. And at some point, he was throwing up or something. Allegedly, they thought he was. Like, what? So, for 4 years, they've prolonged this and prolonged this until they couldn't anymore. So here is the other part. No, we're going to get into the opening statements. Details, facts, how they took them down. Now, sentencing is going to be sometime in November, mid-November, towards the end of November.
I have just said. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for your patience this morning. There were several legal issues that the attorneys and I did need to resolve before we could bring you here into the court. At this time, we will have opening statements on behalf of counsel, so on behalf of the state.
Counsel, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. December 22nd, 2020 was a cold night in Columbus, Ohio. That night, Andre Hill drove to 1062 Oberlin Drive in Franklin County, Columbus, Ohio, to meet with Destiny, a woman who he knew who lived at that address at 1062 Oberlin Drive. Andre drove a silver-colored SUV to Oberlin Drive. The SUV belonged to his boss. Andre had been using the vehicle to work a job while his boss was out of town. The SUV was what many would consider to be a work truck, a work vehicle that was filled with tools and equipment. When Andre Hill arrived at Oberlin Drive, he parked the vehicle on the street near 1054 Oberlin Drive and waited for Destiny to come out to meet him. Because it was cold, Andre was periodically turning the vehicle off and on to stay warm over a period of a couple of hours while he waited. The periodic
Grand Rising,
stopping and starting
Latasha.
of the vehicle engine attracted the attention of a neighbor. It attracted the attention of the resident at 1054 Oberlin Drive. His name is Robert Ronker. Mr. Ronker was disturbed by the noise, the stopping and starting of the engine. So he contacted police to report it and was advised that an officer would be out to check on the situation. Mr. Ronker made that call just before 1:30 in the morning on December 22nd, 2020. As a result of that call, Officer Adam Coy was dispatched to Oberlin Drive. Upon arrival, Officer Coy was initially investigating a vehicle that was parked in front of Mr. Ronker's residence at 1054 Oberlin Drive. However, Mr. Ronker noticed that Officer Coy was looking at the wrong vehicle. So Mr. Ronker came out, approached Officer Coy to advise him that the vehicle in question had actually moved up the street and was now parked along the side of the street at 1070 Oberlin Drive. Officer Coy then moved his cruiser closer to the location where that vehicle was parked. Andre Hill was inside that vehicle. Officer Coy had a brief conversation with Andre Hill while Andre Hill remained in the vehicle. During that conversation, Andre Hill advised Officer Coy that he was waiting for someone, and he showed Officer Coy a text message from his phone that said, "I'll be right out," or words to that effect. Officer Coy then told Andre Hill that was fine, and he returned to his cruiser to wait for Andre Hill to leave. Around that time, a second officer, Officer Amy Detweiler, arrived on the scene.
Now y'all heard what the man did. Nothing. He was sitting in his car waiting on somebody. So why couldn't he just leave after that? Why did he need to sit there and wait and then another officer pulls up for what?
Officer Detweiler and Officer Coy had a very, very brief exchange about the situation and determined that they needed to approach Andre Hill, who had actually just entered the garage of the residence at 1062 Oberlin Drive, that the residence where he was waiting on that person to come out.
What made the other officer pull up? Did he call for backup? Like, this is crazy.
Now, here we have a photograph of that garage. At this point, Officer Coy and Officer Detweiler made their way up the driveway of 1062 Oberlin Drive towards the garage where Andre Hill was inside the garage. Officer Coy ordered Andre Hill to come out of the garage. Andre Hill began to comply with Officer Coy's orders and began to move towards the open garage door. He moved alongside a white car that was parked in that garage. Andre Hill had a cell phone in his left hand, which he had raised up towards the officers as if to show them something on the phone. His right hand was not visible. After Andre Hill rounded the bumper, the rear bumper of the white car.
So Andre Hill was wrong. It's taken 4 years. Are y'all hearing this? Do y'all hear anything that this man did wrong yet? He already told him what he was doing. Well, I mean, go away. But no. 4 years, y'all. 4 years. Unbelievable to me. But I know this how it go. But every time, I'm surprised. I'm shocked and disgusted.
Officer Coy yelled gun and shot Andre Hill 4 times.
He yelled gun and shot him 4 times and didn't see no gun. His partner hadn't even made it around yet to even be able to see what he could see. And it ended up being a bunch of keys, I guess. Let's see.
Killing him. The evidence will
My
show
bad.
that Andre Hill was not armed. He did not have a firearm. When the crime scene was processed, BCI agent Asia Chung recovered items at the scene, including a cell phone, including keys in the area where Andre Hill was shot, but there was no firearm. You will hear from a number of witnesses in this case there. You'll have the opportunity to.
I also want to point out that pay attention to the tactic that he used in getting away with it for so long. And I mean, the tactic that he used, that they all use, that they end up not getting convicted for and sentenced like they should. By saying that I made a mistake, or like we seen recently where the cop just bust out crying, hyperventilating and all this. Oh, no, man. This got to stop.
Body-worn camera of Officer Detweiler, as well as body-worn camera of Officer Coy. Keep in mind, as you're viewing this, that the officer's body-worn camera was not on during their initial approach. So there are some portions of the events that were either not captured on video or that were captured without sound due to a feature on the body-worn camera that records the 60 seconds of video prior to the body cam being turned on, but records it without sound. In addition,
anybody see a problem with that? That's stupid to me. It should have sound as soon as it turn on.
To viewing the body
and
camera,
video.
You'll also hear from Robert Ronker, the 911 caller, as well as other witnesses. Adam Coy has been indicted for 3 crimes. Those crimes include the crime for killing Andre Hill, a crime for felonious assault, and crime for reckless homicide. Let's run through what each of those entail. The first one, causing the death of Andre Hill. The state of Ohio has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt all the elements of these 3 offenses. What does the state of Ohio expect to prove? That the defendant, Adam Coy, caused the death of Andre Hill as a proximate result of committing or attempting to commit felonious assault, which is an offense of violence of the 1st or 2nd degree. That's the first offense. Now, as part of that, the state has to prove that the defendant, Adam Coy, acted knowingly in causing the death of Andre Hill. What is knowingly? A person acts knowingly, regardless of purpose, when the person is aware that his conduct will probably be of a certain nature or a certain result. A person has knowledge of circumstances when he is aware such circumstances probably exist. Because you cannot look into the mind of another, knowledge is determined from all of the facts and circumstances in evidence. This is that mental element that the state will have to prove.
No lies detected, Debbie.
The second crime, which the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt was committed by Adam Coy, is felonious assault. What's felonious assault? What does the state have to prove? The state expects to prove that the defendant, Adam Coy, knowingly caused serious physical harm to Andre Hill, or alternatively, that Adam Coy caused or attempted to cause physical harm to Andre Hill by means of a deadly weapon.
Let me tell you, obviously, let me get back over here. Obviously, he meant to do it because of his actions afterwards. I mean, the actions, period. Just the whole thing, the predator, like you just said. Sitting up there stalking this man, you already know that he was waiting on somebody. Why couldn't you just leave? Why did that have to be a big deal? And a partner pulls up. And the first thing you want to do in 30 seconds or less, you want to just yell gun. Yeah, Latasha, it does. This yelling out gun need to stop. Why don't they train cops to ask if the person has a gun? Then, if they find out later that person was untruthful, then have a plan. And then not only that, they're trained to fire center mass too. Well, they use their training for that. You see what I'm saying? They forget about some of them, and everything is alleged. But nah, he was found guilty. So we gonna stick to Mr. Coy right now. In his case, he did not give a damn that he fired that on that man 4 times. I'm sure all center mass. They did not try to help him. Yet he asked for some type of support on the scene. Like he was the one that lost his life that day. I'm talking about they paid thousands of dollars throughout the years and these experts and stuff that they had. But this was a 3-day trial. And I think they deliberated for like 12 hours or something. And I can't believe it though, y'all. This is the first guy in this county, first cop in this county to actually be found guilty. And of course they gonna appeal it and all of that stuff right away. But let's get through this. We ain't watching all this either. We gonna get to him on the stand.
The state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant, Adam Coy, recklessly caused the death of Andre Hill. And here we have a definition of recklessly.
Yeah, we ain't about to listen to all
that we've been talking about.
As a matter of fact, we've heard enough. Let's get to him.
The state has to show a person acts recklessly when, with heedless indifference to the consequences.
1, 19, and 17.
And where are they in their stages of life?
They're still trying to figure it out. They've got some jobs. One went to college and then decided it wasn't for him and came back home, but they're all doing well.
I don't care.
How long is that?
It takes approximately 6 months to go through the academy and doing evening classes.
Okay. And then the third academy is Columbus?
Yes, it was a paid while you were attending academy.
Okay. And how long did that take?
It's approximately 6 months, sir.
Okay. And so when you graduate from the academy, are you a Columbus Division police officer?
You're still on probation at that point, sir.
What are your assignments or duties once you graduate from their academy?
You would go to patrol.
Okay. And are you just sent out on patrol on your own?
No, you're first going with a field training officer, an FTO, and they take you around and they explain all the things you learned from the academy. You're actually put into practical use.
So you have someone with more seniority and experience with you?
Yes, sir.
On a daily basis?
How much of that did you use that night, sir?
Yes, sir.
How long does that last for?
At that point in time, we had three field training officers, so it takes about 2.5, 3 months.
Okay. Now, when you went to these academies, you were trained on police practices and procedures?
Yes, sir.
Use of force?
Yes, sir.
Firearms?
Yes, sir.
Obviously, he was trained on use of force. Excessive force, that is.
Hand-to-hand combat?
Yes, sir.
All those types of things at all 3 academies?
Yes, sir. 3 times.
Okay.
3 times, and you still got it wrong.
And eventually, when you're, what's it called when you no longer need a training officer with you?
That you're in patrol at that point, sir.
Okay. And when did you go into patrol?
It would have been late 2001, early 2002. And I went to 16 Precinct, which is the downtown area, C Company, which is 3rd shift, 11P to 7A.
3rd shift is 11P to 7A?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And basic duties as a patrol officer, Adam?
You would respond to runs, the dispatched runs. You would pick up traffic incidents on your own, things of that nature.
Okay. You'd have to follow up on calls?
Yes, sir.
What types of calls would you have in patrol?
And you can get anything from domestic violence.
Wait, did he just say he just got done with training? Or am I hearing it wrong? Let me know, because I ain't rewinding.
Violence to thefts to burglaries. It's to the broad range of, we're the first contact in patrol.
OMVIs?
Yes, sir.
Noise complaints?
Yes, sir.
Everything that the other officers have testified here too, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And subsequently, did you stay on that shift?
I moved to evening midwatch, which is a 10-hour shift. Then it's 7P to 5A.
Okay.
Right.
Evening midwatch. Let's start first with, what does midwatch mean for ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Midwatch means you're actually in a unit that covers the half shifts. You're there for half of 2nd shift and half of 3rd shift to cover shift changes.
So there's always people out there?
Yes, sir.
My understanding is midwatch patrol has a greater distance to patrol.
Yes, we cover the entire zone.
Okay. When a patrol officer is on a specific shift, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, they don't cover an entire zone, correct?
No, they cover a precinct. No shoot scenarios where we would set up targets that you could change out the hands to be different items.
Okay. And how long had you done that?
For approximately 9 years.
Change out the hands to be different items. Hold on. Is he talking about tampering with evidence? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, clearly you was trained to do that.
tell the ladies and gentlemen jury what qualifying means.
Qualify is that the state has set a certain level that you must shoot at, a certain percentage, and it's different for each course that you're going through. You would set up your qualifications, they would come in and do those, but we would also do shoot and no shoot scenarios where we would set up targets that you could change out the hands to be different items.
Okay. And how long had you done that?
For approximately 9 years.
Okay. So in that 9 years, are you there at the range every day?
No, sir. I was on patrol. I was a guest instructor. I would go out and assist whenever they needed help.
Give the ladies and gentlemen jury an average over the 9 years.
So basically, he's letting us know he was trigger happy. Is that what you're trying to say, Coy?
How often that would happen during the year?
2 or 3 times each year, they would call us out for requalification or recruit training.
How long would you spend out there? That 2 to 3 times a year?
It varied from time to time, but usually a few weeks at a time.
Okay. So you're out at the range on average about 6 weeks out of the year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in that situation, they have to qualify in the handling
Yep,
of the
you
firearm,
right, Natasha.
Yes, sir.
Qualify in shooting a certain percentage at a target, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then they have to qualify in the shoot, don't shoot course.
Yes, sir.
What happens if they don't pass those?
If they don't pass the course, they could lose their badge and gun at that point in time when I was doing it. And they would have to come back out and retest again.
Okay. And you mentioned, are you testing brand new officers, regular officers, senior officers? Who are you training at that point in time?
All officers, sir.
Okay. Why?
Because when I would go out for the recruit training, that's what I was there for to get them through the academy. And I would also go out and teach the rifle training. Those are usually seasoned officers, a lot of times with military background, that we would have issued a rifle for the street.
So now we know why it's 4 cops on trial at this time for unaliving somebody, because he was their trainer. And hopefully every last one of them will go right behind their trainer. So yeah, I don't know how long he's been a cop, because does sound like that's what he was talking about. So he's been a cop for years. I don't know how long, but it really don't matter to me. I'm just listening. Well, this is important because he's talking about, firing, and that's what he did.
How were you trained to shoot at a perceived deadly threat?
Center mass, sir.
Okay.
See?
When do you stop shooting?
When the threat is stopped.
Okay.
And it took 4 shots when Andre came out with a cell phone and some damn keys. So at what point, again, was that a threat that needed to be stopped? And then not only did he stop him there, but never even attempted any type of first aid on this man. Yet he needed some type of counselor on the scene for him. Get the hell out of here.
Are you trained to shoot at an extremity or injure them?
Absolutely not, sir.
Are you trained to kill them?
No, sir.
And is there any...
Well, I don't know what the hell you think 4 shots gonna do to somebody. Center mass for holding a cell phone and some keys while minding his own black damn business.
Number of shots or number of things. Well, I'm sorry, strike. I apologize. On the course, when is the threat over?
Usually once the instructors either called it or the targets.
The threat wasn't there until you arrived, sir. And the threat ends when you leave. Boy, I'm going to try to let this play. Oh, my God.
To actually turn and face and turn away. We also had a robot that was on the ground that you could put the target on and move it around to barricades and things like that for them to get a more realistic feel for the training.
Right. And just, did you ever train with a dog concept?
Yes, we had some of our targets that we had was an attacking Rottweiler. So to teach officers that a dog could be a threat as well.
Have you ever trained where something wasn't?
He was definitely the attacking Rottweiler. Couldn't wait to take somebody out because he knew that everybody else had already been found not guilty. Yes, they go through all the changes. Yes, it takes time. Unfortunately, they have to be hassled with, pay. What is it? They get paid while they not working. Yeah, pay while on leave. They don't mind. Who would? And then go through all the motions just for them to be like, okay, they good. Mistrial. But this one, they got his ass. Hold on, I need to play that. Yeah, they definitely got him. And so That's what I want to see. Like exactly what it was that made his a little bit different than the others. What was it? Because we need to do that again. Bubba and them waiting.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail.
Now let's get through this. Let's watch how it happened.
Was a threat at first, then wasn't, then became a threat again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you train on those types of things, Adam?
We're trying to give the students or the officers the best chance of a reality situation that they may come into and contact in the real world.
Based on your training as well as that you received in your experience, what does reasonable suspicion mean to you as a police officer, Adam?
Reasonable suspicion is when you have thoughts and ideas that a situation could be leading towards a crime and that you need
Thoughts and ideas. You need to have facts, sir.
to investigate further.
Okay. Is that the lowest level needed in law enforcement to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So does just because, how would you use reasonable suspicion on a daily basis as a patrol officer?
Absolutely.
Have you had times when you thought something was going to be happening and it turned out to be nothing?
Yes, sir.
Have you had times when you thought something was going to happen and it turned out that more investigation was needed?
Yes, sir.
Have you had times when you thought something was going to happen and you actually stopped a crime?
Absolutely.
Okay. So because you're thinking about reasonable suspicion, that doesn't mean that you're saying, yeah, that's 100% what's going on.
Correct.
It means that's why you're going forward to investigate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've heard Mr. Pearson ask questions about Mr. Davis and other people about probable cause. That's to see somebody or arrest somebody.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In order to charge somebody, that's a higher level needed, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
To investigate is simply going forward with reasonable suspicion.
Yes, sir.
Jack's leading.
Yeah. I will.
No,
Mhm.
rephrase.
Leading, sir.
They have it. Right? That's fine. That's fine. Have you been mistaken about reasonable suspicion?
I have, sir.
All right.
Well, it was it turned out to be unreasonable suspicion. If it was a bunch of damn keys. The man hadn't even rounded the damn bumper yet before he fired 4 times and did nothing to help him. Man, welcome in, Street Angel. Right, thoughts and ideas. Didn't train to make good judgment. No, all he knew was how to shoot center mass and harass people for waiting on a date.
Adam, you've been in here. You've seen some pictures of yourself, correct?
I have.
All right. And between December 22nd, December of 2020 and today, you have some issues in your life with regards to treatment and medication that affect you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Shakes, other things, physical and mental side effects, correct?
I have lots of neuropathy, sir.
Okay.
Bubba will help you with the shakes. He will get you through it, sir.
Okay. I apologize. I don't know what neuropathy is, but I won't go into it, okay? All right. I want to take you back to December 22nd of 2020, okay?
Yes, sir.
Were you on mid-watch that evening?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay. That time of year, based on your experience and training, what are some crimes that are more likely what goes on that time of year with regards to patrol officers?
Usually at around Christmas time, there's a lot more items sitting in a house that are readily available to grab and take away. Burglaries and thefts really skyrocket during those times.
Yeah, and Andre Hill didn't make it to Christmas because it was December 22nd when he got harassed for waiting on a date.
Aspects of garages?
Garage thefts, breaking into cars, stealing packages off of porches, all those things go up during the holidays.
Okay. Tell the jury if you remember how you started your shift that day. What normally would you do?
I would have drove to 5 Sub, which is at the corner of Cleveland and 11th. And that's where I would have gathered my equipment for the night and got my patrol vehicle.
Okay. And when you get there, what happens next?
We have roll call, sir.
Okay. What typically happens at roll call?
Roll call is where you talk to the other shifts. They can tell you anything that's going on that day, something that, might need to be aware of, any complaints that we have in neighborhoods that you need to attend to. And you would talk with your other officers on where we were going to space out over the zone.
Okay. How many people are on, and what zone is it?
I was on zone 4 at the time, sir.
How many people would be on mid-watch with you during that time? Excuse me, how many officers? I apologize.
10 to 12, sir.
Okay. All right. What happens next?
I was assigned to 9031. I gathered all my equipment for the night, loaded my vehicle up, and went out on regular patrol.
Okay. Anything of significance prior to having this run?
No, sir.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, what happens or what you remember about being dispatched on this run.
I was at around Ackerman and Olentangy. I was eating my lunch. The call came in for service for 16 on Oberlin Avenue.
See, he wasn't doing a damn thing but eating donuts at the time. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Didn't have a damn thing going on. So how about harass a black man? That's the most action he gonna get for the rest of his shift. Didn't we just go from roll call to lunch? Let me keep playing this.
I set my lunch down, put my car in drive, and started that way.
Okay, what's a 16, Adam?
I'm sorry, a 16 is a disturbance.
Okay.
Which the call itself came in, sounded more like a suspicious vehicle, suspicious person. It was that a silver SUV was turning on and off repeatedly for the last couple hours.
Okay, so
he was turning his vehicle on and off for the last couple hours already, right? At what point was he a danger to anybody? If he was already sitting there for a couple hours, at what point was he a danger to anybody? And then he told the man, this dude, what he was doing when he first put up on him, from my understanding. Let's pay attention.
When you get this straight, when you hear this, it's not just, hey, 16 at this address. It's the type of run is a 16. But
what I believe is that after lunch, he wanted some dessert. That's what I think.
They tell you information.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you put your car to go there, you had that. What information did you have at that time?
That there was a vehicle sitting out in front of the 1054 Oberlin, that it had been turning on and off for several hours, and the caller was concerned.
Okay. When you hear that,
where does that ring any weapons needing to be put, going to the garage to follow the dude? Like, let's keep listening.
Based on your experience and training, what goes through your mind at that time, Adam?
At first, I thought due to the time of the year, a lot of homeless are starting and stopping the cars to reheat the inside of the car up so that they can stay warm.
Okay. All right. So how long do you think it took you to get to 1054 Oberlin?
What? Did he just say the thieves? Wait. Let's go back. I might have went back too far.
Since prior to having this run?
No, sir.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, what happens or what you remember about being dispatched on this run.
I was at around Ackerman and Olentangy. I was eating my lunch. The call came in for service for 16 on Oberlin Avenue. I set my lunch down, put my car in drive, and started that way.
Okay. What's a 16, Adam?
I'm sorry, a 16 is a disturbance.
Okay.
Which the call itself came in, sounded more like a suspicious vehicle, suspicious person. It was that a silver SUV was turning on and off repeatedly for the last couple hours.
Okay. So when you get this straight, when you hear this, it's not just, hey, 16 at this address. It's the type of run is a 16, but they tell you information.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you put your car to go there, you had that. What information did you have at that time?
That there was a vehicle sitting out in front of the 1054 Oberlin, that it had been turning on and off for several hours, and the caller was concerned.
Okay. When you hear that, based on your experience and training, what goes through your mind at that time, Adam?
At first, I thought due to the time of the year, a lot of homeless are starting and stopping the cars to reheat the inside of the car up so that they can stay warm.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So how long do you think?
So he said a lot of homeless is starting. Okay, so you suspected that it was a homeless person, or that's what he just said. So yet and still, nobody that's causing any harm to anybody, and already had been out there a couple hours. But when he pull up, he tell the man what it was. Oh, but it was super suspicious to me, though.
It took you to get to 1054 Oberlin?
Approximately 5 minutes.
Were you timing it?
No, sir, I was not.
Okay. What describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you pulled up, did you pull up right in front of 1054?
I pulled up in front of 1054 Oberlin. There was a silver SUV there. I exited my vehicle and began to shine my flashlight on it. As I shined my flashlight on it, the caller came out the front door and said, "Sir, officer, that's not the right vehicle. It moved down there," and pointed further down the roadway.
Okay. So you took note of a silver SUV. You're out there investigating. You realize that the one that caller went is down farther.
Yes, sir.
Could you see that car?
I could, and I could see that it was running at the time because there was exhaust coming out of the back muffler.
Okay. Did you take note of that the fact that the car was in front of 1054, but now somewhere else? Did that come in? Did you take that into your thought process?
It seemed odd to me that the vehicle had sat there for a couple hours, and then right as the caller had called that it had moved, but I took the caller for what he pointed out to me and told him I would investigate.
Okay, what did you do next?
I got back into my patrol vehicle and I pulled down behind this.
So that's the part that's still kind of confusing. So wait, he went to a vehicle. The caller told him he was at the wrong vehicle, so he went down to another one. So who was in the first vehicle he went to? Let me take it back just a little bit. Or did I just take that forward? Let's see.
Right about the middle, sir.
Okay, all right. And what was your intent? What were you intending to do when you pulled up behind that vehicle on the offset? What was your intention?
To make contact with the person that was in the vehicle and ask them why they were there.
When you hear the terms,
Told him I would investigate.
okay, what did you do next?
I got back into my patrol vehicle and I pulled down behind the silver SUV and I offset my bumpers to their bumper the way we're taught to.
See that car?
I could, and I could see that it was running at the time because there was exhaust coming out of the back muffler.
Okay. So how long do you think it took you to get to 1054 Oberlin?
Approximately 5 minutes.
Were you timing it?
No, sir, I was not.
Okay. Describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you pulled up, did you pull up right in front of 1054?
I pulled up in front of 1054 Oberlin. There was a silver SUV there. I exited my vehicle and began to shine my flashlight on it.
Okay, so it was a silver SUV, and I know that Andre was in his boss's work truck or something. So he got out, flashing a light into somebody else's vehicle. I don't know if somebody was in it or not.
As I shined my flashlight on it, the caller came out the front door and said, "Sir, officer, that's not the right vehicle. It moved down there," and pointed further down the roadway.
Okay. So you took note of a silver SUV. You're out there investigating. You realize that the one the caller went is down farther.
Yes, sir.
Could you see that car?
I could, and I could see that it was running at the time because there was exhaust coming out of the back muffler.
Okay. Did you take note of that the fact that the car was in front of 1054, but now somewhere else? Did that come in? Did you take that into your thought process?
It seemed odd to me that the vehicle had sat there for a couple hours, and then right as the caller had called, that it had moved. But I took the caller for what he pointed out to me and told him I would investigate.
Okay. What did you do next?
I got back into my patrol vehicle and I pulled down behind the silver SUV and I offset my bumpers to their bumper the way we're taught to make a traffic stop. It creates a lane that you can walk in, but it's safer for you to stand in.
Okay. And where did you pull down to?
I pulled down to 10. At that point, the vehicle was parked in front of 1070 Oberlin.
Okay. And from the pictures, was it on the closest part of 1070 or the farthest part of 1070?
Right about the middle, sir.
Okay. All right. And what was your intent? What were you intending to do when you pulled up behind that vehicle on the offset? What was your intention?
To make contact with the person that was in the vehicle and ask them why they were there.
When you hear the term suspicious vehicle, suspicious person, do you then have reasonable suspicion to investigate further?
I need to, yes, sir.
Okay. You couldn't just go away.
No, sir.
Okay. So your intent is to approach. What happens next, Adam?
As I'm walking up to the vehicle, the driver puts down the driver's side window, takes his left arm, puts it on his right knee and his right hand, and he leans out and back towards me, showing me a cell phone.
Okay. So if you are the flag for the courtroom for the record, you're approaching like where the flag is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the person is facing this way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So would you show that again for the ladies and gentlemen? Okay. And where are you in relation to that flag, so to speak?
I would
just pointing out that he already encountered him. This is his first encounter with the guy. He's already made contact with him. He's showing him what he's doing there by showing him a text message from the lady that he's coming to pick up or see or whatever they had going on.
was walking up towards the vehicle.
I apologize. How far away do you think you were from the window at that point?
It would be about 6 feet, maybe.
Okay. And then what happens next, Adam?
The driver says that I'm waiting for someone to come out. They're going to be out in a second.
Okay. Did the driver show you something?
He showed me the screen. I could see that it was a text screen. You could see the text bubbles, but I couldn't read anything on it.
Okay. So at this point in time, what's going through your thought process?
That this person's just picking somebody up and they're about to leave.
No issues, right?
No issue, sir.
Okay. Are you leaving at that point?
No, I tell the driver that I had to respond because we received the call and to have a good evening. Went back to my vehicle. I opened the door. I sat in the driver's seat and left my door open.
Why would you leave your door open?
It's the way we're trained. It's so that you can get out of the vehicle quickly if you need to. And I do it every single time.
When you are up talking to the person in the vehicle that shows you, what did you notice about the car?
The dark tinted windows, and there was a lot of items in the car.
Okay. What did you notice about the individual that you were having that conversation with? How did that person seem to you?
He seemed wide-eyed, a little jittery, and dismissive of me. He wanted to break contact with me as soon as.
Did not want to talk to officers, right?
That is correct. A little jittery and dismissive. I opened the door. I sat in the driver's seat and left my door open.
Why would you leave your door open?
It's the way we're trained. It's so you be about 6 feet maybe.
Okay. And then what happens next, Adam?
The driver says that I'm waiting for someone to come out. They're going to be out in a second.
Okay. Did the driver show you something?
He showed me the screen. I could see that it was a text screen. You could see the text bubbles, but I couldn't read anything on it.
Okay. So at this point in time, what's going through your thought process?
This person's just picking somebody up and they're about to leave.
No issues, right?
No issue, sir.
Okay. Are you leaving at that point?
No, I tell the driver that I had to respond because we received a call and to have a good evening. Went back to my vehicle. I opened the door. I sat in the driver's seat and left my door open.
Why would you leave your door open?
It's the way we're trained. It's so that you can get out of the vehicle quickly if you need to. And I do it every single time.
When you are up talking to the person in the vehicle that shows you, what did you notice about the car?
The dark tinted windows, and there was a lot of items in the car.
Okay. What did you notice about the individual that you were having that conversation with? How did that person seem to you?
He seemed wide-eyed, a little jittery, and dismissive of me. He wanted to break contact with me as soon as he could.
It's not uncommon for someone to encounter a police officer to be bright-eyed.
I wonder why he wanted to break contact. And okay, so he said he told him that he had to respond. He went back to his vehicle and he put his what? I mean, I'm confused. Why didn't he leave at that point? You responded. He told you what it was. What did he need to do more than to just leave at that point? Can y'all help me with that? That's crazy.
And jittery.
No, sir.
It's not uncommon for civilians to not want to talk to officers, right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. Why did you note those things?
It's just part of our training. It's what we see. We're watching for all these physical cues that a person gives. A lot of times you can read the body language and then add that to what they're telling you, and it gives you the.
What is he giving right now? What is he giving to y'all right now? Since we talking about body language. Look at him. To me, he's given that he is right in what he did and privileged, of course.
Bigger picture.
Once he showed you the phone and told you something to the effect that someone will be right out, what did you tell him?
To have a good evening.
Okay. And so now you're back at the.
So he told him to have a good evening. That's crazy. So how did have a good evening end up you in the garage with him? Telling him to get out the garage. If he told the man to have a good evening, he should have put off and left, right? Let's figure this out. Let's listen.
Cruiser, what do you do at that point?
I sat down again. I left that door open and I reached over, and we have a computer that's mounted to our dash. It's called an MDC. And I read the license plate off the back of the vehicle and ran the tag. Okay. The tag came back. Everything was fine. It wasn't stolen. The tags belonged on a vehicle of that nature. And I didn't do anything further with it.
Okay. Did the tag come back to the address there?
It didn't come back to anything on Oberlin.
Okay. So again, by itself, is that very suspicious?
If it would have came back to Oberlin, it would have been a lot easier for me to dismiss it. But the fact that it did not belong in the area made me think a little more about who he was picking up.
Okay, so let me see what y'all saying, because this right here, I'm not understanding why he didn't leave at this point. So OMG, he was looking for trouble. Okay, wow, that's crazy, but had no intentions to leave the scene. Wasn't that misleading him, like deception? Like by the time the guy was shocked when he probably came to the garage and told him what he said. We gonna get to that. Andre gave him an answer, but that wasn't enough. And after he got a legit response, Coy should have just left. Period. Like, I mean, what? It's nothing. Go on. Oh my God. So training for the devil and getting ready for hell because God will step in. That's a good one. Exactly what I said. Power, control, and pure hate. That's what it's looking like. Yes, hit the like button, y'all. It's 33 people in here with 15 thumbs up. Please smack that thumbs up. Thank you for the one that just hit the thumbs up. Aiding and abetting. This is crazy, man. Like, I remember when this happened, of course, not having all of these details Debbie, exactly. We don't need to be an expert, but an expert of liars, and we all know a damn liar. Exactly. See, this kind of stuff make me cuss too, y'all. This is oh my God, it upsets me. Shout out to Most Wanted Brian's in the building. Most Wanted, Most Hated. He probably wanted somewhere too, y'all. Let me hit play. Unreal. Stalker.
So when you're sitting in that car, why not just leave?
The caller was still standing
bingo.
in the front yard watching down where we were. I wanted the individual to see that I actually handled the problem and the person was leaving.
So who the hell is this caller? So he wanted, are y'all hearing what this man just said? Because the caller is watching him, he want to make sure the caller knows that he handled it. So he went and shot the black man. For the caller, is that what I just heard him say? Is that what I just heard him say? Oh my God, let me hit mute. It's too early for me to be yelling. My neighbors sleep. Oh my God.
Get in the car with the other individual and leave the area.
All right. So you run the tag, right? Or you run the license plate.
Yes, sir.
And that kicks off a time, that kicks off a whole series through the lead
Wait,
system.
where
right?
did I
Yes, everything's recorded.
Right. And then at that point in time, had the individual left the vehicle yet?
Not at that time.
Okay. How long, I'm sorry, what happens next?
A minute or so goes by and the individual gets out of the car, comes to the rear of his vehicle, passes between my vehicle and his vehicle.
What do you do when you see the individual get out of the car?
At that point in time, I step out of the car and stand next to my vehicle.
Why?
Again, I don't want to be caught sitting down. I don't know what the situation is, and it's just the way my training is. I do it every time.
There's nothing wrong with a person getting out of the vehicle and coming in front of you,
No.
correct? Right.
It is if you black, apparently. I mean, per the outcome tells me that. Let me, wait a minute. Hold on. Where are we at? 45. We got to go a little bit up here.
Again, I don't want to be caught sitting down. I don't know what the situation is, and it's just the way my training is. I do it every time.
You made a battle out of nothing.
And then at that point in time, had the individual left the vehicle yet?
Not at that time.
Okay. How long? Okay. And then at that point in time, had the individual
Oh my God.
left the vehicle? So when you're sitting in that car, why not just leave?
The caller was still standing in the front yard watching down where we were.
All that just to get back to this part. Oh my God.
I wanted the individual to see that I actually handled the problem and the person was leaving.
Hold on.
So I was waiting for the individual to come out of the house, get in the car with the other individual, and leave the area.
Okay. All right. So you run the tag, right? Or you run the license plate.
Yes, sir.
And that kicks off a time, that kicks off a whole series through the lead system, right?
Didn't he say he was leaving? How is he now running a tag? I'm confused. Oh, that's right. The neighbor was watching.
Right.
Yes, everything is recorded.
Right. And then at that point in time, had the individual left the vehicle yet?
Not at that time.
Okay. How long, I'm sorry, what happens next?
A minute or so goes by and the individual gets out of the car, comes to the rear of his vehicle, passes between my vehicle and his vehicle.
What do you do when you see the individual get out of the car?
At that point in time, I step out of the car and stand next to my vehicle.
Why?
Again, I don't want to be caught sitting down. I don't know what the situation is, and it's just the way my training is. I do it every time.
There's nothing wrong with a person getting out of the vehicle and coming in front of you,
No.
correct? Right. Why would you then get into the position you did?
Because I do it every single
Because he
time.
was black.
What do you observe at that point in time, Adam?
I observed the individual that was in the car walk to the front door, and
where does he walk?
He walks up the driveway, and maybe.
I apologize. Is he?
I slowed this down just so we could try to catch the crime that Andre Hill did by getting out of his car, walking past his car, and walking to the door. I'm still waiting on the crime.
Walking up the driveway to 1070?
I'm sorry. He actually walks back down a short ways to the driveway that's more even with the back of my vehicle. It's 1062 Oberlin, okay. the third address, and walks up to that front door.
Okay. So from your position of where you are, the individual comes in front of you, right?
Yes, sir.
You're standing up and then comes down to your right.
Yes, sir.
And then the next house to your right is 1062.
Yes, sir.
Goes up to that porch.
Yes, sir.
Was anything said by the individual to you at that point in time?
Not at that point in time, sir.
What happens next?
He bangs on the front door really hard. I mean, and waits.
Kind of like the police. Is that what he's trying to tell us? But he was supposed to be gone. Remember, I'm still trying to figure out what did this man do wrong that he needed to be watched, stalked at this point. He already told you he was waiting on somebody. Wow.
For approximately a minute.
Okay. When he banged on the front door, did anyone come to the door?
No, sir.
Was there any reaction in the house?
Completely dark, sir.
No lights came on, anything of that nature?
That is correct.
Waits for a minute. What happens next?
He repeatedly knocks again.
Okay. What is going through your mind when he repeatedly knocks again? I'm sorry. I guess so. When he knocked repeatedly the second time, did anyone come to the door?
No, they did not.
Were there any lights that came on in the house or anything?
No, they did not.
What's going through your mind at that point, Adam?
It's something's not starting to add up because he said that this person was waiting on him and about to be out. Now, why aren't they answering the front door?
Okay.
Something ain't adding up. Dude, like what? So, out of the slow mode that I have it in, did y'all catch a crime that Andre was doing? The reason why this would take 4 years to go to trial when this man was clearly wrong, clearly, and his actions after it, if you thought this wasn't bad enough, proves it even more.
What does the individual do?
Leaves the front porch, goes back in between the same route that he took to get there, passes between my vehicle and his again.
What do you say to him?
At this point in time, I don't say anything to him.
What does he do?
He goes to the front seat of his vehicle, opens the door, leans over, rummages around under the front seat and in the front side of the vehicle, and then steps back out and walks back towards again in between my vehicle.
What?
He created a whole issue, man. So now, because Andre went and rummaged through his truck and did this and that, he don't know what he might have at this point. So now he's highly suspicious.
When he goes into his vehicle and rummages around, what are you thinking?
I was wondering, what is he retrieving from the vehicle?
Listen, y'all, I ain't even watched. I have not listened to this at all. This is my first time. And listen at what he just said.
When you saw him walking
Wow.
the first time up to the house, did you see anything in his hands?
No, sir.
Okay. When he was walking back from the house, did you see anything in his hands?
No, sir.
After the rummaging and he's in front of your car, do you say anything to him?
As he starts to pass back between our vehicles again and walk back towards the house, I verbally said to him, "What's going on?"
Why did you say that?
What's going on? What's going on is you need to go find somebody else to arrest, or some criminal or something. Like, look at him. That's what it was. He could taste the blood. Now, just so happened, I stopped it right there. Look at his face. He wanted it. He wanted it bad. He could taste it. He could taste it, allegedly. Not allegedly, because he did what he did. He wanted dessert. What's going on? What's going on is you harassing me, sir?
Because I wanted to know what was going on. Things weren't adding up.
What do you mean things weren't adding up, Adam?
The statement that he had given me that he was there to pick somebody up, the fact that they were getting ready to come out, coupled with the fact that he's pounded on the front door of a house that he's not even parked in front of. There was plenty of places for him to park. He could have just pulled right up in front of 1062.
And on top of that, he was a black man. Don't leave that out, sir.
All these things are starting to add up to something that isn't making sense.
So the record's clear. So from where you parked in front of 1070, there was plenty of room in front of 1060, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Or
1062.
I'm sorry. Okay. And then
how do he know it wasn't a vehicle there when he first got there and he was cool with where he was at? Like, anyway.
When you asked him what's going on, was there a response?
Not verbally.
Okay. When there's no response, what goes through your mind?
Why hasn't he responded to me? It seemed like he had said that he was there to pick somebody up, and now he's distancing, himself from me further.
Okay. What else do you observe?
I'm sorry, sir?
What else do you observe next?
He walks towards the house to 1062 Oberlin again, up the driveway. But as he's walking, he keeps looking back over his shoulder to see where I'm standing.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I will be wanting to look over my shoulder to see what the hell you doing too, because you said you was gone. I'm still at that part. So yeah, I would have been looking too. Like, dang, didn't I already show you the phone? So I didn't even know this part. So basically, when Andre is coming out of the garage, he's like, dude, I already showed you what I'm doing. So he got the phone. Okay. Now, if it was keys that Andre had in his hand, ain't them the same damn keys that he would have had in his hand when he passed through the vehicle several times, according to his testimony? He didn't notice them keys when he walked past 2-3 times already. Seriously, what? Let me let this play. Man, I should have been a lawyer.
To you based on your training and experience, Adam.
One of the things we look for is they're called targeting glances. When somebody is looking at you, or I've even had them where I'm talking to them and they're staring at items on my.
See how I'm your authority. Look at me in your eyes when I approach you, even though I said I was gone. Have a good day. Didn't he say something like that? Like, what? Now I'm your daddy, boy. Oh my God, I'm yelling. Let me let this play.
Belt. It makes you start to think, what is this person's intention?
The fact that he's looking back or targeting you, what does that do to you towards reasonable suspicion?
It messes with my privilege. Who the hell do you think you are to not look me in my eyes, even though, you know, you're on your way to mind your business. Look at his face.
With the totality of everything that's going on at this point, I'm starting to gather more reasonable suspicion that there is.
With the totality of everything that's going on at this point is he's the only one adding the bullshit to the bullshit. He the one that piled everything on top of everything. There was no problem before him. There was no threat. There was no laws broken. Nothing. It was a man sitting outside of a house with his truck idling off and on or whatever, minding his own black business. Already showed you that he was no threat. He wasn't robbing nobody or doing nothing. He wasn't breaking no laws. But that wasn't good enough for him. Because he wanted to did he want him to call him daddy or what? I mean, what did you want from the man? Ain't no damn way he didn't see them keys if he didn't walk past 2-3 times either, by the way. Mr. Sharp guy, you notice everything but that? Stupid. He must have got bullied in school. Maybe at home. I don't know.
There's a crime going on and he's not being truthful.
Or nothing, just triple K. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why he even joined the police force. He was thirsty for blood. Allegedly.
Okay. All right. So what's your intent? What are you going to do next?
At this point in time, I haven't moved. He's going up the driveway and I see that there's a vehicle coming down the roadway. So I look to my right and I see that it's Officer Detweiler and she's about to pull up.
I understand that, but at this point in time, when the person walks away from you, doesn't answer, are you going to find that person and investigate?
Yes, I need to know what's going on.
Okay. Officer Detweiler pulls up.
Yes, sir.
And so just for the record, that would be behind the flag, correct?
Yes, sir.
That way. Okay. More in front of 1062.
Correct.
Okay. When you look to see Officer Detweiler, can you now see the individual that was in the car?
No, he's gone from my line of sight. There was a pine tree there. When he went around the pine tree, I couldn't see him anymore.
Okay. What are you going to do next with regards to furthering your investigation?
We need to question the individual, find out what's going on, possibly try to make contact with people in the house.
Where were you going where were you going to head?
I'm sorry, sir?
In order to do that, were you heading to the front of the house, down the street, or behind the house?
Well, at first, before I even move, I turn to Officer Detweiler as she gets out. And at that point, I say, she asked me, what do we have? And I said, I'm not sure what's going on, but something's not right.
Okay. Had you conveyed to her that Tag didn't come back to this neighborhood?
No.
Okay.
Man, listen here. So he escalated his partner when she got there. I mean, he escalated her even though he was the one that carried out what happened. But this is what he tell her. Oh, something's going on. And all this man did was got in and out of his vehicle, knocked on the door a little bit too hard for his liking. And then didn't really want to give him eye contact because he trying to figure out, why is you behind me? Why is you even talking to me still? I thought you was leaving. He escalated everything and he escalated his partner. Oh, something's going on. Wow. Who do he think? Like, they just got a little bit too much authority for $19.99 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, go sit down somewhere. Oh my God. Let me let this play.
Had you conveyed, when you say something's not right, had you worked with Officer Detweiler before?
Many years, sir.
And I apologize, what did she say to you?
She had asked me when she first stepped out, she had said, is it code 4?
What's that mean?
That she's not needed, that she can just clear the run.
Okay. And what did you?
So, what about the scene made his partner believe that it was a code 4, that she wasn't needed and on the scene because it wasn't a damn thing going on the scene? I wonder, what was it that gave her that indication? Besides, and then he's telling her, oh, something's not right. So, which is it? Sir?
Did you tell her?
That's when I told her something. I don't know what we got, but something's not adding up.
Okay.
You ain't got nothing. Nothing did you have.
All right.
Anyway.
What is your intent next, Adam?
To make contact with the individual that I originally had contact with and see where he went. I was going to go around the backside of the house.
Okay. Why the backside of the house?
He tried to make entry in the front half and didn't get in. I figured the next door available was probably in the backyard.
No, it just sounded like you was setting him up. That's what it sounded like to me.
And that's based on your experience?
Yes, sir.
Based off of his experience. Let's remember, this was only a guy sitting in his vehicle.
Where do you start to go towards?
We walk up the driveway of 1062 Oberlin.
I apologize for interrupting, but when you say we, I have to ask you, who's we?
Myself and Officer Detweiler.
And where is Officer Detweiler in relationship to you?
She's behind me and to my right.
Okay. And what path do you take at this point in time?
I went to the left side of the driveway so that I could get a better view of the last place that I saw the individual at. And that Officer Detweiler was offset from me to my rear.
So he could stalk him better. Look at him. That's just how he was. What is it? A snake in the grass, or a panther, a tiger, or something down low? What would y'all say this position he's in right now? A pred. Definitely. Go get a donut or something. Like, I mean, Andre did not deserve to lose his life that day for this idiot who didn't see the keys in his hand the 4 times he already had walked past, according to him. Because them keys would have had to been in his hand when he walked past the vehicle, along with his cell phone. Oh, I didn't see what was in his other hand. No, actually, he didn't even say that. The partner said they didn't see it. Andre was holding up his phone, and the other hand was down. Before he could even round that bumper good, he fired on his man 4 times center mass for doing nothing but minding his black business.
And over on the right-hand side of the driveway.
Okay. Do you know if Officer Detweiler had her weapon out or not?
No, sir.
Did you have your weapon out at that point?
No, sir.
Okay. So
not only did he fire on the man, but he yelled, gun. You know what happens when they do that? The partner also fires, usually. But this partner didn't, because she wasn't all the way there yet. Like, she had no sight of what was going on yet. But had she been there, you know how many, man, what?
To give the jury some perspective. So you're coming, if you're 1062, you're coming from the left of, facing, you're to the left of 1062.
Yes, sir.
Officer Detweiler's kind of coming straight up.
Yes, sir.
1062. When you go around, or when you go step forward, what's the first thing you notice?
That the garage door is open and it's pitch black.
Why is that important to you?
Again, the thefts and robberies, burglaries, and things that happen this time of year, and I didn't notice before, but now this garage door is open.
Okay, so he didn't notice the garage door was open before, but now it's open. Andre was knocking on the door, right? And the door, she didn't open it or whatever, right? Then now the garage is open, and he didn't think, oh, maybe the person he's coming to pick up is letting them in the house now. Maybe he was even banging on the door because he had to use the bathroom or whatever. But whatever the reason, even if he was in fact banging on the door, but the garage is open that was not open before. He didn't say Andre pried the garage door open. He didn't say he kicked it or drove his vehicle through the dang on garage. He just said the garage was open and it wasn't open before, or at least he did not notice that. So what exactly did he think was going on? What an idiot. Like, dang, this is crazy to me. And these are the people in charge of the streets. The ones that mistake their weapon, their firearm, for tasers. Keys for weapons, firearms. Let me let this play. I could go on and on.
And didn't know if they purposely left it open, if somebody had broken into it. I just knew it was open and dark.
Why is the dark important to you in your analysis?
Being that I don't know what's inside the garage,
it ain't your
I
business.
then use my flashlight to shine in to see.
When you realize that the garage door is open and dark, are you still going to go to the back of the house, or where are you going to head next?
My intention at first was to go to the back of the house, but as I see the garage doors open, it changes my focus from the rear of the house to the garage door. And at approximately the same time, I see a light flicker in the back corner of the garage.
Okay. When you first observed the garage door open and dark, could you see anybody in there?
No, sir.
And you couldn't see what was in his hand either. So let me look at the chat right quick. What do y'all think about this so far? Because I keep saying I'm going to quit talking, but I cannot contain myself because I'm hearing so much stupid stuff and I don't like stupid stuff. You know, it doesn't allow me to be calm. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the things that's coming out of this man's mouth. Do he hear himself talking? And have they heard him for the past 4 years? Idiot is being nice. Wow. Welcome in. I'm trying to see double speak telecast. Welcome in. Grand Rising. Thank you for coming through. No suspicious activity except what Officer Coy was doing. Exactly, Latasha. Exactly. He was the pred. He was the one that escalated everything, like it happens so frequently that we hear about. We watching all the tactics right here. How he escalated, and then the partner come, I don't know what's going on, but it's something about to jump off. Yeah, because you about to do it. You're causing it all. He created the narrative. Exactly. He definitely did. This is wild. Let me keep hitting play. Let me hit play. While I continue to read y'all messages. But it's hard to pay attention like I am and read, y'all. I can only read or watch or read or talk or y'all get what I'm saying.
At this point, do you have a continuing duty to investigate?
Absolutely.
Go forward.
Yes, sir.
At this point of escalating everything, now I must investigate because I created a whole issue that was never there. Okay, let's go.
At what point do you see something in the garage?
Maybe 2 or 3 steps up the driveway, I see it with a flicker low to the ground in the back corner of the garage.
Okay. And if you're looking at the garage, where do you see that?
At the back right-hand side.
Okay. And you say you see the flicker low?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what do you do at that point in time, Adam?
I have my flashlight out and I start shining my flashlight into that corner so I can light up what flicker I saw.
What do you observe?
Mr. Hill is crouched down in the back right-hand corner of the garage.
Okay. Crouched down. And why when you say someone's crouched down, what does that mean to you in your investigation?
It seems weird with everything else that has occurred thus far in this run. Now, why is this person in the dark garage kneeled down in the back corner of a house that no one's answering?
Okay. And with garages I mean, sometimes people forget to close garage doors, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there was no light on that was tripped.
So it was suspicious because no one was answering, and now he's in the garage that wasn't open before that's open now. So who the hell opened the garage, sir?
On or anything like that?
No, sir.
Pitch black.
Yes, sir.
All right. You see the person crushed down. What happens next?
I shine my flashlight on him and I say,
That's how quick it happened. You see how he let him get his act on. His kin tears together.
hey, something's not adding up here. Come out here, show yourself.
Okay. Something's not out here. Come out here, show yourself. When you say show yourself, have you used that before as a police officer?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by that?
Due to the fact that he was crouched in the corner, I was talking to his whole body. I wanted to see every bit of him.
Okay. Were you eventually able to see his whole body?
Wait a minute now. What did he tell him? Because why didn't he say, put your hands up, let me see your hands? Wait a minute, did I miss it? Hold on. I might have missed it. Because if you was in fear, sir, that you created the fear that you have now, scary cats. Hold on. Now he's scared. I need to see all of you. But did he say that, or was he feeling that? Or let me hear that.
Talking to his whole body. I wanted to see every bit of him.
Okay.
Why he sound like I want to see every bit of him? Like he about to. Like, we don't want to see your tears, sir. Not at all. Hold on.
Okay. So there was no light on that was tripped on or anything like that?
No, sir.
Pitch black.
Yes, sir.
All right. You see the person crushed down. What happens next?
I shine my flashlight on him and I say, something's not adding up here. Come out here, show yourself.
Okay.
Something's not adding up here. Show yourself. I missed something, but hold on. Is that what they police supposed to say when they suspect something? Don't they say, put your hands up, it's the police, or something to that effect? What the hell? Let me just let this keep playing.
Okay. Something's not out here. Come out here, show yourself. When you
Something not adding up, come out here and show yourself. Well, he did show himself, but guess what he didn't do? He had one hand down and one up. And he unalived him because he thought the keys was a weapon. But he never ordered him to put his hands up. See how he set this man up? He set this man up just like old boy did Sonia Massey. He created the issue. He told her to go get that hot boiling water. He told her to go get it. He didn't stop her. Now he told her to go get it, she goes to get it, and as soon as it's in his hand, automatically it's a threat. That hot steaming water. Then all this woman said was, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And he took her out and used the water as a freaking threat. These are the tactics that's being used, y'all. And then they top it off with, I was in fear for my life. He did all the tactics. He yelled gun. Well, first he created it. He escalated everything. Because the different thing is he said, okay, have a good night, sir. Yet he remained there. So that was different, but maybe they've been doing that too. I'm just pointing out all the stuff that they do. And usually they get off. But this time, he's the first in Franklin County in 2024 to be found guilty. Wow. That's why this is so interesting to me. Not only that, 2020 was the year that I started my channel and I covered Andre Hill case. And I remembered. And soon as I seen this, I'm like, oh yeah. See how long it took? So that's what I say when I talk about the JVI McGee case, how ain't no chances of me not talking about it because I follow up on every case that I have ever covered. If it's not solved, I'm come back to it. And here we are.
You say show yourself. Have you used that before as a police officer?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by that?
Due to the fact that he was crouched in the corner, I was talking to his whole body. I wanted to see every bit of him.
Okay. Were you eventually able to see his whole body?
No, sir.
Okay. When you first saw him, which way was he facing?
He was facing towards the house and standing in the garage facing towards the house.
Fine. So if you're the back of the garage, he would be facing towards the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was your thought process at that point when you observed that fact?
What is he doing in there? Why is it dark? Why is he not responding to anyone inside the house?
You order him to show yourself what's going on. Come out here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have your weapon out?
No, sir.
Do you know where Officer Detweiler is?
Somewhere behind me.
Okay. What happens next?
We don't want to see no tears. Bubba is going to be there to wipe them for you, sir.
Mr. Hill's walking towards me.
Okay. Does he immediately come out?
No, sir.
Does he respond to your question? What's going on? Did you?
Not at first, sir.
Did you hear anything from him?
No, sir.
He starts walking out, correct?
Yes, sir.
How does his body appear to you at that point in time?
He's, instead of walking directly towards me, he kind of walks towards the parked vehicle in there, and his body is turned to where I can't see his right side. I can just see his left side.
What does that tell you based on your...
So he just admitted that he couldn't see one side of his body. Yet he yelled gun. Are y'all hearing this? Are y'all hearing this? He just said that out of his mouth. Like, I understand. Okay. Pay attention to his eyebrows. He looked just like the devil. Or the Grinch or somebody that looked familiar to me.
Training.
It's called...
Ew. I can't think of the name of that. Let me go. Let me keep playing.
It's called blading.
Blading.
It's a stance that like a boxer would take.
Is he accusing Andre of taking a stance like he was going to punch him or something like that? Is he accusing Andre of being aggressive when he walked out of the garage? Is that what he's doing here while crying, Karen?
If they're going to get into a fight.
Adam, Mr. Hill's
scared.
coming towards you.
That's a whole lot of stuttering, sir. That's a whole lot of stuttering. Good Lord. Look, he thirsty now. How many bottles of water have you already had? How many he got up there? Cry us a river. We don't care.
Right side.
No, sir. No.
What do you see?
There's a cell phone in his
Hey, where-
left hand.
How does he have the cell phone?
Screen pointed outwards, kind of held up, pointed at shoulder height.
Yeah, I wonder what was Andre saying. Like, here's a cell phone. I mean, he actually said Andre didn't say anything, but he's showing him the same message that he already showed him when he approached his car the first time when he told him he was leaving. That's what he was doing. He was repeating what he had already did. So you would go away.
When you observed that, what went through your mind?
It was a distraction. He was trying to get me to look at the phone.
Okay. Could you see his right side at that
A distraction.
point in time?
Not yet.
So when you say sucked up to the,
Not yet. Could you see his other hand? Not yet. But he was waiting on it. And as soon as he seen something shiny, if he even seen that, let's see it.
to the
Here.
car, if this is the car, the back of the,
He ain't see a damn thing. That's what he seen. Nothing. My computer about to die. Hold on. He ain't see nothing.
car, there's a part here that's at the end of the garage, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you say as he approached you, he's sideways like this.
Yes, sir.
At some point, does he turn towards you?
Right at the very corner of the car.
Okay.
Okay, so before we start watching this, we played the video of what are we on? Let's go back to that video, or are they gonna? Maybe they gonna play it. Let's wait and see what they go.
At the corner of the car, when he turns towards you, what do you see?
Silver revolver in his right hand.
Where was that?
He seen a silver revolver in his hand. He just said that on stand. That's what he seen.
Silver revolver coming up in his right hand.
From behind his leg, and it was coming up at me.
Okay. And when you saw that, what did you think was going to happen, Adam?
I thought I was going to die.
What did you do in response to that, Adam?
I drew my gun.
This is the fear they have of a black man. Y'all see how shook he is?
I yelled, gun, gun, and I fired 4 shots.
Why did you fire 4 shots?
That's what stopped it.
Okay.
That's what stopped it. Y'all see this mess, man? Do anybody want to call in? I mean, do anybody want to call in? Because, I mean, I cannot. I am like tripping. Look at this dude, man. Look at this dude. What? What? Are we serious here? I yelled, gun, gun. And I stopped it. That's the number if anybody want to call in. Y'all got anything to say about this? Because this is just absolutely, utterly freaking ridiculous. And the Oscar goes to Watchmen. Welcome in. This is absolutely crazy, y'all. This is what? Wow. Wow. We'll keep watching, but y'all can call in too if you want. Wow.
Okay. Did you fire any shots before when he was sideways?
No, sir.
Did you fire any shots when he was going to the garage or anything like that?
Mind you, they gave this man no medical treatment. So all these tears that he got, like he got remorse that he had to fire on the guy, or that he did fire on the guy. The remorse would have happened immediately after the act. He had none. He didn't even try to help him. We heard them. We watched the video that showed that it was 12 minutes before any aid was rendered to Mr. Hill. So these tears we see here is guilt. And the fact that he caught, and the fact that he trying to get out of going to jail, prison. But Bubba and them got plans for him. Cause look, now the next thing, y'all. The next thing. These people, we gotta make sure he get the time that he's supposed to get. Cause we be thinking, oh, okay, he locked up. They gave him 25 years. Psh, next thing you know, they letting him out in 3 to 5.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Nanny boo boo.
That's what we want. And yeah, we on petty time right now.
Oh, sir.
When you saw him come to the edge of the car, what did you see in his right hand?
A silver revolver.
Okay, why a silver revolver, Adam? What describe?
Why is he saying he's seen a silver revolver when we know it wasn't one? Did he need his eyes checked? Bifocals? What? I mean, what? He seen something that wasn't there.
That for ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
It's a revolver is thinner in the front and thicker in the back.
Okay.
Kind of like a key on a ring. Because that's what the hell he just described. Like, man, what? Y'all, this is literally my first time watching this. I cannot believe what I'm hearing here. Hold on. I got to go do something, but I cannot step away. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see. Unbelievable. But while y'all wait though, please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Thank you for sharing me. Thank you for sharing me. Thank you for sharing me. For sharing me. For sharing me. For sharing me. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Thank y'all for y'all patience. I appreciate it. We gonna get back into it. I just didn't want to miss nothing because I would have had to bring it back. I guess I could have let it play and bring it back, but let's go.
What happens next, Adam? Did you turn your body worn camera on?
Immediately.
Okay. What happens next?
I keep my weapon trained on Mr. Hill. He's down, but I can't see the gun anymore. I can't see his hands.
It was never there.
Officer Detweiler says that should I approach, and I tell her to stay back.
Why?
I still couldn't see his hands.
This is what he describing here, y'all. This is what he describing, okay? You see this video is 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds. I just want to make sure y'all see that this video is 30 seconds. Okay. This is what he describing. Look like Andre is out there pretty quick, you know, from the time of the light flashing. Look, we see him right there. We see him right there. I don't see him right there. Very well. I don't see him at all, but it don't matter. Let's take it back. Also, notice the volume on the body cam has not come on yet. Here we go. Let me slow it down. Oh, it already is slow. Well, no, we want to keep it playing. Wait a minute, was both his hands up just then? My bad, y'all. Hold on. And they had to pause it because he fired at him right there. I mean, they couldn't go no further. You know what I'm saying? He was down from there. And this man never posed no threat on him. Ever. Not ever. Piece of shit. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna just let it play. Never posed a threat. Now, y'all heard all that mess he was saying about how he was walking towards the car. He was in this fighting stance. And do y'all see any of that? Please help me. I don't see a Let me go back to this BS he was talking again. Now tell us this lie you were saying again.
On Cameron.
Get out of here, Joe. Crazy.
No, sir.
Do you know where Officer Detweiler is?
Somewhere behind me.
Okay. What happens next, Adam?
Mr. Hill's walking towards me.
Okay. Does he immediately come out?
No, sir.
Does he respond to your question? What's going on? Did you?
Not at first, sir.
Did you hear anything from him?
No, sir.
He starts walking out, correct?
Yes, sir.
How does his body appear to you at that point in time?
He's, instead of walking directly towards me, he kind of walks towards the parked vehicle in there, and his body is turned to where I can't see his right side. I can just see his left side.
What does that tell you based on your training?
It's called blading. It's a stance that like a boxer would take if they're going to get into a fight.
Adam, Mr. Hill's coming towards you. Can you see his right side?
No, sir. I cannot.
What do you see?
He described this man's walk as a boxer stance. His walk and his when he paused, I mean, like, when did he pause? Because he fired before he could even put his other foot down. That's crazy to me. Like, wow.
There's a cell phone in his left hand.
How does he have the cell phone?
Screen pointed outwards, kind of held up, pointed at shoulder height.
When you observed that, what went through your mind?
That it was a distraction. He was trying to get me to look at the phone.
Okay. Could you see his right side at that
Did y'all
point in
see him
time?
distracted?
Not yet.
So when you say sucked up to the car, if this is the car, the back of the car, there's a part here that's at the end of
Exactly.
the garage, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you say as he approached you, he's sideways like this.
Yes, sir.
At some point, does he turn towards you?
Right at the very corner of the car.
Okay. And at the corner of the car, when he turns towards you, what do you see?
Silver revolver in his right hand.
Where was that silver revolver coming up in his right hand?
From behind his leg, and it was coming up at me.
Okay. And when you saw that, what did you think was going to happen, Adam?
I thought I was going to die.
What did you do in response to that, Adam?
I drew my gun. I yelled, gun, gun, and I fired 4 shots.
Why did you fire 4 shots?
Why did you
That's what
lie?
happened.
Okay. Did you fire any shots before when he was sideways?
No, sir.
Did you fire any shots when he was going to the garage or anything like that?
No, sir.
When you saw him come to the edge of the car, what did you see in his right hand?
A silver revolver.
Okay. Why a silver
When?
revolver, Adam? What describe that for ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
It's a revolver is thinner in the front and thicker in the back.
Keys.
What happens next, Adam? Did you turn your body worn camera on?
Immediately.
Okay. What happens next?
Why wasn't already on?
I keep my weapon trained on Mr. Hill. He's down, but I can't see the gun anymore. I
Grayson,
can't see
you
his
should
hands.
be afraid.
Officer Detweiler says that should I approach, and I tell her to stay back.
Why?
I still couldn't see his hands. I wanted to see where that gun was.
Okay.
What gun?
What is that based on training?
Yes, sir.
Can someone be on the ground and not be an immediate threat, but be a potential threat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At that situation, did Officer Detweiler listen to you?
She did.
What did the two of you do next?
Gave more commands for hands to come out
What?
and slowly move forward.
Where was all that at?
What happened, Adam?
I got up to a point where I was standing next to Mr. Hill, and I rolled him back. And as I rolled him back, I looked to my left, and I could see. I started looking for where the gun was.
Exactly.
And I seen the pile of keys sitting there. And I said, fuck.
Why, Adam?
I knew at that point that
Welcome
I made a
in,
mistake.
Tiffany.
Okay.
Hold
Had
on,
you
I'm
seen
sorry. I'm
keys in his
talking.
right hand, would you have fired your weapon?
No, sir, I would not have.
Hold on,
Had you
y'all.
seen a
My
cigarette pack in his right hand, would you fire the happen at him?
The gun was.
Okay.
It wasn't
Is that
there.
based on the edge of the car? What did you see in his right hand?
A silver revolver.
Okay. Why a silver revolver, Adam? What describe that?
It's just amazing that we're going through this trial with his damn imagination. Like, it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw nothing. But this is how untrained his eye is. That you see how crooked they are, right? That's half the problem. And the obvious problem is a black man just being a threat, period. Or a woman at this point, you know, they taking us out all kind of ways, y'all. And getting away with it. That's the biggest problem. So when people be like, oh, why y'all care when it's a police involved shooting? Y'all do this to each other all the time. Well, guess what? Quan taking his ass to jail. But old Adam here, he gets to continue to take us out. Spread the word for the people in the back and the ones that don't know.
For ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
It's a revolver is thinner in the front and thicker in the back.
Okay. What happens next, Adam? Did you turn your body worn camera on?
Immediately.
Okay. What happens next?
I keep my weapon trained on Mr. Hill. He's down, but I can't see the gun anymore. I can't see his hands. Officer Detweiler says that should I approach, and I tell her to stay back.
Why?
So let me get this straight. He couldn't see his hands before he fired, and he couldn't see his hands afterwards either. So he was still a threat, right? Because the reason that he fired at him in the first place is still the same reason that why he landed there. He couldn't see his hands.
I still couldn't see his hands. I wanted to see where that gun was.
Okay. What is that based on training?
He wanted to see where it was. Did you find it yet?
Yes, sir.
Can someone be on the ground and not be an immediate threat, but be a potential threat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At that situation, did Officer Detweiler listen to you?
She did.
What did the two of you do next?
Gave more commands for hands to come out and slowly move forward.
Or
what happened, Adam?
I got up to a point where I was standing next to Mr. Hill, and I rolled him back. And as I rolled him back, I looked to my left, and I could see, I started looking for where the gun was. And I seen the pile of keys sitting there. And I said, fuck.
Cookie Monster. That was your first time discovering it was keys, sir. I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't see them keys before. Could it be that he didn't want to see the keys? Could it be that he wanted to see a 9mm? Could it be that he just knew that he was going to get off like every other cop that killed a black man in Franklin County? And it was his turn to you know, get one under his belt.
Why, Adam?
I knew at that point that I made a mistake.
Okay. Had you seen
a mistake that you cannot take away? You can't sorry this one away. My bad this one away.
keys in his right hand, would you have fired your weapon?
No, sir, I would not have.
Had you seen a cigarette pack in his right hand, would you fire the weapon?
No, sir, I would not have.
Did you believe that he had a silver revolver in his hand?
I did.
Okay.
So this is how they get off too. When they be like, well, did you believe that that's what it was? So that was reasonable doubt You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. He believed it, even though it wasn't there. And he feared for his life. You know, put all that stuff together, it usually get him out. I don't know what changed for this. That's why I'm very interested. And it need to happen over and over and over. Because this stuff is intentional, in my opinion.
How did that make you feel, Adam, when you realized that you were mistaken?
I was horrified. It was the worst night of my life.
Yeah. Well, if I just had the worst night of my life, and I'm saying that it's the worst night of my life because somebody is on the ground that I fired 4 shots into, and I don't want them to, pass away. So I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do to make sure they don't pass away. I'm going to make sure I do everything to try to save their life because I made this horrible mistake. But instead, he told his partner to call support for him, and that partner actually did that before even calling a medic for Andre. And then Andre laid out there for 15 minutes before, or 12 minutes, they said, before the paramedics arrived to even start working on him. And this guy was off in the background acting like he was sick to his stomach or whatever he might have been doing. I don't know what he was doing. But we had a black man dying and nobody did a damn thing to save him. And it was several officers on the scene.
What did you do at that point, Adam?
I went in shock. I started dry heaving. I couldn't control myself. I couldn't think straight.
Did you tell anybody what you were believing in your mind as to the reasonable suspicion about what might be going on?
No, I did not.
Why not, Adam?
I'm not quite sure. Everything just went as a blur to me. And I knew I had just been involved in an officer-involved shooting and that I was supposed to remove myself from the situation. I'm no longer supposed to be part of this investigation.
Did you ask to call a medic?
I did.
Who did you ask that to?
Officer Detweiler.
Did you ask for officer support?
I did.
Why?
Because I had just been involved in a critical incident. I needed officer support there.
Okay. Do you remember wandering around the scene?
Not really.
Okay.
I remember just being dazed. I remember wandering around the driveway a little bit.
Is there any doubt in your mind that you saw something silver in Andre Hill's hand coming towards you?
No, sir, no doubt.
When you saw that, what did you believe was going to happen?
Thought I was going.
Can anybody in the audience let me know if keys are silver or not?
Gonna die.
Why did you fire your weapon at that point?
Because I saw an imminent threat, and I didn't want to get shot.
And he was black.
Right before Christmas.
But I wanted to take him out right before Christmas. This dude did not just say right before Christmas. Like what? Oh my God, dude.
Would you ever want to get shot after Christmas, Adam?
No. Sir.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
Oh my God, dude. What? We don't care, Adam. Save the tears for Bubba and them.
Adam, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much.
Wow. Like, I can't, man, what? Oh, Adam.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Cross-examination.
Your performance is over. You may now wipe your eyes, sir. He did that right on wait a minute, on cue. Didn't he? Like, hold on, let's take that back one.
Doubt in your mind that you saw.
Hold on, let's do it in super slow-mo. Oh my God.
Something silver in Andre Hill's hand coming towards you.
No, sir, no doubt.
When you saw that, what did you believe was going to happen?
Thought I was going to die.
Why did you fire your weapon at that point?
Because I saw an imminent threat, and I didn't want to get shot right before Christmas.
Would you ever want to get shot after Christmas, Adam?
No, sir.
Stupid.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
Adam, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much.
You may now wipe your eyes.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
And the Oscar goes
Cross-examination.
to, like, what do you guys think? How did he do, y'all? How did he do? How did he do? Like, man, get the hell out of here. Like, for real. This is what we dealing with in 2024. I can't even remember what the year is right now, messing around with this dude. We don't care, Karen. I'm not going to even call him Ken. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Nanny boo boo. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail.
Bubba them awaits you, sir. That's crazy. Crazy. What y'all think about that? Oh my God. Okay, let's continue.
5-minute break, Your Honor.
He don't need no breaks.
Well, we never take 5 minutes, but let's go ahead and take 10.
We ain't taking no
ladies
10
and
minutes.
gentlemen, if we can get you back in the jury room.
We still looking at
let's
James
say,
here, Coy here, Adam, I mean.
5 till. Okay.
All right.
5 till. Again, remember the admonitions that I've given you with respect to discussing this case among yourselves or with anyone else. All rise for the jury.
All rise and all get right on back here. Trials are something I do not like watching while they live because I cannot. Come on now, that's more than 10 minutes, ain't it? There you go again. Come on. You got your tears out? You good now? Let's see.
So if you can answer them in that manner where possible, please do so, okay?
Yes, sir.
Also, if you don't understand my question or it's confusing or anything like that, please ask me to rephrase, or if I mumble and you can't actually hear the words that I'm asking, please let me know and I'll make sure you can hear them, okay?
Will do, sir.
All right, thank you, thank you. Starting off, Mr. Coy, you do admit that some of your tactics were off that night, correct?
I don't understand the question, sir.
What is he? Wait a minute now. Is we gonna start out like this? He already don't understand the words that's coming out of this man's mouth.
Do you think your tactics were perfect that night?
Tactics meaning what, sir?
Everything that you did leading up from the time that you made first contact with Mr. Hill until after you left the scene.
I think my mistake, sir, was seeing keys as a revolver.
Wait a minute now. Y'all hear this mess? Now we gotta stop him right now. We pointed out all the errors that old Coy did here. When he told the man he was leaving, he should have left. But instead, he stayed to harass him. And even sitting here on the stand, old Adam Coy here don't see nothing that he did wrong. What do you call that? What? Tactics. I don't understand what the word. What? Okay, let's hear this.
All right. Well, You acknowledge that he did not have a revolver, right?
Yes, sir.
He didn't have any weapon at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Outside of that, mistaking the keys for a deadly weapon, you would agree that you made other mistakes that night too, correct?
No, sir.
Help him out.
You provided a written statement regarding the events in question, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also had an interview with the Bureau of Criminal Investigation after that, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I believe the record that I have is that you spoke with agents on or about January 20th, 2021. Is that correct?
If that's what it says, sir.
So it's about a month after this incident happened on Oberlin?
Approximately.
And your written statement was submitted to them about a week before that. Is that right?
Again, sir, I'm not sure of the timeline.
Okay.
Now all of a
You
sudden you
wouldn't have
don't know
any
nothing.
reason to disagree with that, correct?
I don't know the timeline, sir.
Okay.
You created
Let's talk
it,
about
didn't you?
this incident. So you stated you were having your lunch when you got the call to dispatch to 1062 Oberlin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for bringing up that lunch, because that was my thing. He was eating and ready for dessert. He wasn't doing nothing either, by the way. He was having lunch. So he wasn't doing nothing. Looking for somebody to harass, allegedly.
So about how far were you into your lunch break?
I don't take a break, sir. I just eat my lunch while I'm still active and ready for service.
Okay. About how long had you gotten into your lunch before you were dispatched to this Oberlin address?
To be honest, sir, I don't even remember what I had. So I don't know.
Okay. So you're dispatched to this Oberlin address. You go there. Is this a lights and sirens call?
No, sir.
All right.
Wait a minute. That's another thing. If he just had lunch, why would he be dry heaving? Wouldn't he have thrown up? You know what I'm saying? If I just had my belly full and I'm like, I just fired on somebody and he laying there, like, you know what happens after 4 shots hit somebody? What? Imagine with the scene there. Wouldn't you think instead of dry heaving, he would have, chucked up his whole lunch?
And it was a noise complaint. Is that right?
No, sir.
You took it as a suspicious vehicle?
It came as a 16, which is a disturbance, but it read like a 48A, which is a suspicious vehicle, suspicious person.
All right. And when you arrive there, you see a vehicle parked in front of the house where 911 was called from. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you approach that, you get out of your cruiser at that time?
I did, sir.
And you approach that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Ronker, the 911 caller, directed you toward where the silver SUV was, correct?
Yes, he said it was further down the road, sir.
Right. And you get back into your vehicle, move your vehicle closer to where that silver SUV was, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what did you do as soon as you parked your vehicle, I'm sorry?
What did I do, sir?
Yes, what did you do?
I exited the vehicle.
And what was the purpose of exiting your vehicle?
To make contact with the person in the running vehicle.
Okay. And you stated on direct examination that Mr. Hill showed you text messages, right? He showed you a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Shows me a text bubbles. That's all I could really see, sir.
That's all you could really see?
I couldn't read the text.
Okay. In your written statement, you wrote, he showed me his phone screen that had a text message on it that said, I'll be right out, or something to that effect.
He said, it told me what it was saying on the text message.
Okay, so with him saying that, sir, if you were so concerned in finding out why this man was here, when he did lift up the phone, why didn't you read it to understand exactly what it was that he was trying to show you? Or did you just not give a damn because you had a taste for blood after your lunch, sir? And welcome in, Taylor House Publishing. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Oh, because that's, so now your testimony is he told you what it said?
While he's showing me the phone, he told me what the text message was supposed to say. I didn't actually see the text message itself.
Okay. Well, in your statement, it reads, he showed me his phone screen that had a text message on it that said, I'll be right out, or something to that effect.
In the same fashion that I would tell you this is a water bottle, sir. He was showing me his phone, telling me about the text at the same time. I never read them myself.
Okay.
Don't involve the water bottle. Now he trying to get the water bottle involved. Like that didn't even make no damn sense. What was that supposed to mean? Like what did he just prove with that? Can somebody please help me? Like what? And this is the guy running around Franklin County training all the cops with a badge and a gun and training others.
But you didn't say that in your written statement to the investigator.
He's a liar.
Did you?
It depends how you interpret that statement, sir.
Okay. Well, let's go to your statement when you were interviewed by the Bureau of Criminal Investigation on January 20th, 2021. There was a question. Did you see the text messages? And your response, he held it up, and I seen something on there that said, be out in a sec, or in a sec. Do you recall saying that?
No, sir.
Okay. If I played this for you, would that refresh your recollection as to whether you actually said it or
Let
not?
me help you remember, sir.
Okay.
I don't recall. He don't remember. Because it didn't happen, right? Is he lying now, or was he lying then? What y'all think? Shout out to Grayson. Welcome to Awake. No, welcome to Sleuth Nation. And also the winning team. Shout out to you. Welcome to the winning team. Buckle up, baby.
6.
Let's go.
I never ran space jump, man, I still go. Atlantis was 2 miles altitude. On the shuttle that breaks the sound barrier.
Welcome to Sleuth Nation. And we up under the winning team too, and Team Viral. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go. Please smack that thumbs up if you have not gotten a chance to, and subscribe to the channel.
Your Honor.
Oh, and join membership like Grayson just did. He rock.
May I play this for the witness?
Yes. All right. We're going to try to take 5, ladies and gentlemen. Don't leave the jury room. Okay. Again, remember the admonitions that I've given you with respect to discussing the case
5.
among
Didn't we
yourselves
just get
or with
back?
anyone else. All rise for the jury.
We ain't taking 5 minutes. We back. Oh no. What are we doing here?
The full sentence is something like that, sir. I was obviously didn't know specifically at that point either.
Okay.
What? Hold
But there's
on.
no
Did we miss
indication,
something?
no words by you. that
Hold
you're
on,
going.
hold on. We must have missed something.
All right, Mr. Pearson, you may inquire.
Thank you.
Bless me.
So, Mr. Coy, you did say he held it up, and I seen something on that said, be out in a sec, be out or in a sec, correct? You said that?
Something like that, yes, sir.
I seen something on there that said, correct?
The full sentence is something like that, sir. I was obviously didn't know specifically at that point either.
Okay. But there was no indication, no words by you.
The key word was I seen, though.
That you're going off of what you were told. In both your written statement and in the statement you made to BCI, you're referring to something you saw with your eyes, aren't you?
That I saw a text screen, sir.
What the heck? Is it pepper in here?
But it's your contention today that you didn't read that screen. This is coming
it
from
is.
what someone
It
said
is.
in the vehicle.
I said, when Mr. Hill said to me that she'll be out in a minute and holding up the text messages to show me, I seen that there was text bubbles. I can barely read this without tipping my glasses up, sir. There's no way I read that cell phone.
Okay.
What you damn sure couldn't see if it was a weapon either, since you can't read and see, and you can't see nothing unless you lift your glasses. Did you lift your glasses when you seen that revolver that wasn't in his hand? When the last time he got his eyes checked? The heck? He can't read, he can't see, he can't leave people alone. Bubba got you though.
So it's your contention, Mr. Coy, that on December 22nd, 2020, you had something wrong with your vision?
I've worn contacts and glasses for years, sir. My vision has gotten worse since the cancer.
Look, that's the same thing Sean Grayson got
So
going on. So they said, now since they brought that up, they said that this trial was delayed for 4 years because of his ailments he had going on, allegedly. But that ain't all. But I can't help but notice that Sean Grayson, allegedly, the one that unalives Sonia Massey, he's like 30 years old. He allegedly has colon cancer. And he was trying to use that to get out as well.
Contention that you had something wrong with your vision on that day.
Objection, Your Honor. That's not his answer.
Overruled.
It is, right, Taylor?
I wear contacts, sir.
This I found this very interesting because it is letting, okay, I don't know if you was in here when I said this. In Franklin County, many cops have been charged with unaliving a black man, right? But he the first one to be found guilty. So it's very interesting. They been dancing around this whole trial. They done spent thousands of dollars and all of this and wasted everybody's time. But yeah, he definitely got found guilty, and sentencing is coming up. We gonna be here for that too. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what is it that made this different than the other cops that got off. How were they able to get him? Maybe, I mean, like, okay, so the similarity also that I see with him and Sean Grayson is Sean Grayson told his partner, don't even waste your medics on her. She gone, dang, kind of remind me of Do That TNR. He gone. But anyway, he didn't render any aid, and nobody did anything to help Andre Hill for 12 freaking minutes while he sat there with his Karen tears or dry heaving and asking for support. They called his support before they called any help for this man. Sick.
So you said in front of this jury that you weren't able to see those text bubbles, right? Is that what you said?
I could see there were text bubbles. I couldn't read the text.
Well, you said
could not
you
read the
could.
text.
You lied now or you lied then.
Let's back up just a second in this, just a moment in this exchange that you had with Mr. Hill. You said as you approached the vehicle, what did he do?
First, he rolled down the driver's side window. He leaned with his left arm towards his right knee. Used his right arm, held the cell phone out and back towards me.
Okay.
Wait, what?
And do you kind of approach kind of close up to the vehicle as you approach a vehicle?
Wait a minute. What was that movement?
Extremely close, not touching, but close.
Let's look at Andre again. Let's look at, because I don't know why they not playing it here, but we'll look at it again. Let's see how quickly he unalived this man. This video is 30 seconds, okay? Notice the audio is not on here. He's walking up after stalking this man. This is the time that he would have seen keys, him walking and standing in a fighting position, and him walking towards the car and yep, right there, bam. unalived him that fast. This is all he saw. So what are you talking about again? We don't.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew. Kinsey Yolanda has the
Riverside window.
Let's go
He
back.
leaned with his left arm towards his right knee, used his right arm, held the cell phone out and back towards me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did y'all see that move? I did not. I didn't see that move. But anyway, let's continue.
And do you kind of approach kind of close up to the vehicle as you approach a vehicle?
Not extremely close, not touching, but close, sir.
Okay. Is that for officer safety reasons?
Yes, sir.
And you also don't go directly beside the driver, is that correct? Or a little bit back for officer safety reasons as well?
Yes, sir.
So as you're having this conversation with Mr. Hill, you're slightly behind him, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in order for him to talk to you, he's going to have to turn his body to at least make eye contact with you or look at you, correct?
I would believe so, sir.
And you stated that he took his left hand and he put it on his right knee.
Covering up his lap, sir.
Covering up his lap.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What?
You sure about that?
Yes, sir.
So now he got the man doing the hokey pokey. Like, let's look at that one more time. I've never seen that. Wait. We gonna stop it like when we can see Andre. Like when the light flashes, like right there. We'll slow it down a little bit. And let's see if we can see that. Let's go 75. Okay. Look like to me, as soon as he got eyes on him, he just pow. And four times. Wait. Could that have been the part that he talking about when his right hand was over his left knee or whatever he just said? You think he could see that if he couldn't see if he had keys or a gun in his hand? Man, get out of here. Get out of here. All I see is him holding up a phone. That's all I see. And it's over. The end. That's it. That's all. I mean, that went so dang on fast. Hold on. Let me slow it down even more. Let's go 0.5. Let's see. Where's the boxer stance at? Where's the left knee and right hand? And anyway, let's continue.
You correct?
I would believe so, sir.
And you stated that he took his left hand and he put it on his right knee.
Covering up his lap, sir.
Covering up his lap.
Yes, sir.
When?
Okay. You sure about that?
You really gonna say that with a straight face, dude?
Take a look at that statement that you have in front of you. Go back one page prior.
Street
And
angel.
you said
Yeah.
to the BCI.
You like that slow mo? Look, he took his glasses off. Can you see me now, Coy? Can you see me now?
Investigator. So the vehicle, the window rolls down. As I approach and start to shine my light, Mr. Hill puts his left arm on the window here, his right arm, his left arm onto the seal of the window.
How many arms he got? I'm confused. Like this kind of stuff confused me. Usually when it confused me, it's just lies. You know what I'm saying?
With his right hand, he is using.
Is he
he
an
leans back
octopus?
toward me
and
Is he an octopus? Let me. I just cannot.
show me the display of his cell phone.
Yes, sir.
That's different than what you're saying today, isn't it?
No, sir.
Oh, which one was it? Did he have his left hand on the window or the left hand on his right knee?
If this is the windowsill, his left arm is on the windowsill. His left hand is on his right knee. It's both, sir.
Was he doing the butterfly? Like what? I mean, seriously, y'all. We did not see none of this. None of it.
Your left hand is on your left knee. You mean to tell me that he reached over to all the way to his right knee
Hands on
with
his
his hand
knees.
on the windowsill?
With his elbow. He had his elbow on the window.
So he was doing the good knees dance. Did y'all see any of that? I promise you, I didn't. Let me hit mute.
Rolled down the window, put his elbow here, was covering up his lap, putting his hand this direction, and this one back here. Make it an X, sir. It's the same thing I say in the statement.
Can you point me to the part in your statement, again, this is a transcript, where you make any reference to his hand being on his knee? I'll wait.
Say again, sir.
Point me to the part of your statement that you gave to BCI where you say Mr. Hill put his hand on his right knee.
And then he said, I'll wait. We waiting?
It just says his left arm is on the seal of the window, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's not what you said today, is it?
Not exactly, sir.
Is you lying now or then? Or both? Which is it, sir?
You said that you found it odd that he addressed you before you addressed him, correct?
Yes, sir.
What is odd about that, Mr. Coy?
Normally, people don't even roll down their windows till I get up to the vehicle and actually knock on it. That's just the normal way that traffic stops occur. So the fact that he rolled down the window and was already trying to tell me something before I ever even approached him seemed odd to me.
You were approaching.
Well, this wasn't a
him, though.
traffic stop, was it?
No, sir, it was not.
Okay. This is a consensual encounter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At any point in time, well,
That's a
up
good
until
one.
this point in time, he could have just drove away, couldn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. I ain't think of that.
So he addressed you, talked to you when he didn't have to, correct?
Yes, sir.
He was polite to you, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
He didn't use any foul language, did he?
No, sir.
And he told you what he was there for, didn't he?
He said that he was there to pick someone up.
But yet and still you found that behavior odd.
I found the entire incident to be odd, sir.
Okay. At what point in time did you start to think that this encounter is odd?
After I'd made contact with Mr. Hill, with the predetermined at that point, and saying he was waiting on somebody, having been there for almost 3 hours.
And what did you do after that, Mr. Coy?
I told Mr. Hill to have a good evening and return to my vehicle.
That's the part, y'all. That's the part. Hold on. Let me.
This encounter wasn't odd enough to.
That's the part. He told this man he was okay, have a good evening, like he was gonna leave, and then he continued to harass him, and that is the most bizarre part of it all. You know, besides the act itself. But why would you do that? And then continue on with him. He created everything that happened. But we gonna keep listening.
You at least to ask him his name?
Not at this point, sir.
You never did. I ain't hear him say nothing.
But you
about it.
recognize you could have done that, right?
I recognize, yes, I could have asked him his name.
Okay. Oftentimes in your years of policing, your 19 years of policing at this point, you've often asked people for their names, haven't you?
When it's necessary, sir.
You've asked them for their IDs if they have them, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hill was in a vehicle at that time.
Yes, sir.
So, if he didn't ask for none of those things, he never thought it was suspicious. Is where we going with this one. Let's go.
Do you think it would have been improper for you to ask him for his name?
Improper?
Yes.
Not improper, sir.
Okay. And you ran the license plate to the vehicle, correct?
A little bit later.
How long? How much later?
Approximately a couple minutes, sir.
What was Mr. Hill's behavior at the time that you're having this conversation with him?
He seemed wide-eyed and jittery, very dismissive. He seemed like he just wanted me to leave.
Yeah, because he did. He just seen a ghost. You.
Wanted you to leave
Go
after
away.
he volunteered information to you?
In the manner that he was showing me the information and telling me that he was waiting for somebody.
Okay. Did he tell you to leave?
No, sir.
Did he ask you, why are you here?
No, sir.
And you go and you run the plate, and what were the results of the plate run?
It came back not stolen, but it didn't belong on the Overland Drive.
What do you mean it didn't belong on Overland Drive? Does a vehicle, are they limited to where they can travel?
Normally at that time of night, sir, the vehicles that are parked out front of houses and in driveways usually come back to the same house.
When he said it didn't belong there, it made me think about that black 18-year-old that was walking down that street that had all them guys following him, the white Kens, the Karens, even though they was men following him like, what are you doing over here? Like, this car didn't belong here. Like, this black man didn't belong here. Like, get out of here. Just disgusting.
Certainly not always.
Not always.
So Mr. Hill was in a vehicle that didn't belong there because it was not registered to that address.
I didn't say that it didn't belong there. I said that the Oberlin Drive wasn't the address that was on the license plate. Therefore, it normally wouldn't.
Oh, don't go to splaining now, sir.
My apologies, Mr. Coy. I'm just using your vernacular.
We heard you. Now he want to go to. If anybody didn't know what splaining is, that's what we just seen. And while stuttering, like we heard what you said, sir.
So you have this conversation, I'm sorry, let me back up. Did you talk about anything else?
Right, Grayson. Very
with
twisted.
Mr. Hill?
No, sir, I did not.
Where was the caller at that point in time? Did the caller go back into the house or did he remain outside?
At that point in time, I'm sitting in the vehicle running the tag. I'm not sure where the caller was.
Exactly.
But when I stepped out of the
Natasha.
vehicle to stand next to my vehicle, I seen the caller was still in his yard.
Is it your understanding that the 911 caller watched a lot of this interaction that you had with Mr. Hill outside?
Oh yeah, that's the other part, y'all. The 911 caller was watching me. I wanted to make sure they knew that I was handling business down here. That make me want to know who's the 911 caller. You wanted to impress them. They was looking. That was the dumbest thing. I'm trying to think. Was that the dumbest thing he said so far? Like, let's continue.
Well, I mean, if he knows.
Thank you.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. Was Mr. Hill outside? I'm sorry, was the 911 caller outside at that time that you could tell?
Again, when I stepped out of the vehicle was the first time I looked back down and seen the caller was still there.
Okay. Did you ever see him go back into his house or did he remain there?
No, I did not.
And at one point in time, he came down to tell you something, correct?
He started that direction.
Yes.
Did he now? Was he one of your
Do you recall where that vehicle came back? Like the name of the owner of that vehicle?
No, sir, I did not.
So if you have someone who was 1:40 in the morning, according to you, he's jittery and wide-eyed, and you decide to not ask him for his name?
That's what you did?
At the time, he gave me an explanation for him to be there. It seemed reasonable up to that point.
Why didn't you leave, sir? Look at him. Look, he looking over now. You're lying and looking for help over there, ain't you? He looking for somebody to save him. Somebody help me. Nah. He know where he going with it. It makes no sense what you did there. Oh, he was a threat, yet you didn't ask him for no identification. Didn't even know his name. You ain't that you. He looked up the vehicle, but the vehicle wasn't even his. If I remember correctly, they said he was driving his boss's vehicle. Now you're looking for help. Sounds stupid.
Seemed
don't
reasonable up until that point, right? Is that what you stated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's a lot of reasons why people would be outside at this time of night, correct?
I would say so.
Yeah, there are legitimate reasons why someone would be outside at that time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you and your partner both thought that it could be that he was warming up the car to stay warm, right?
That's what I thought. I'm not sure what Officer Detweiler thought.
Well, if you thought that,
So at this point, Mr. Hill wasn't operating a vehicle because it was parked, correct?
Vehicle was running, sir. Physical control.
So the vehicle was running, but it wasn't moving. Is that right?
Correct.
You hadn't seen him do anything illegal or wrong.
Not at that point.
at what point did you see it?
And instead of him giving you problems or telling you to go mind
You
your own
see
business,
how he said you see how he said not at that point when there was no point that he was. See that? Interesting.
he told you the reason why he was there, correct?
Yes.
If he had told you to go pound salt or go somewhere else or mind your own business, there would have been nothing legally you could have done about that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, trust me, he would have did something. He would have provoked him, and he would have instantly started saying he wasn't complying. That's why they started hollering all that stuff. They want you to act up. This is why we have to not give them reason too. You know what I'm? And Andre gave him none, but I'm just saying I have seen cases where people are giving them reasons to do this whole play. You know what I'm saying? Like, is the play for you should be to make it home. Fight it in court. Don't even give them a reason. They're looking for one. Andre didn't give him one. He created it. And he's still 4 years later standing on a damn stand blaming the victim. Ooh, I hope Bubba them. Ooh, Bubba them. Ooh, Bubba them.
Because this was a public street, correct?
Yes, it was.
And he had every legal right to be there at that time.
Yes, sir.
Exactly, Debbie. And Michaela. I don't know how to say your name. Michaela.
And you decided that it wasn't necessary to ask him any further questions. You went back to your vehicle. And was at that time, a little bit of time later, you ran the plates, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then at some point in time, Mr. Hill goes out and, according to you, bangs on the door to that residence. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
See that? So when he told him that he was leaving, he went and ran the plate. And then that's when Andre got out the vehicle to knock on the door. And that was highly suspicious to this dude. Look how he looking at him compared to the other guy. The other guy, defense versus prosecution. The other dude was funny. He was funny. Like the way that he was questioning him. The defense versus prosecution, I guess. I got to get this courtroom verbiage together, y'all.
You said he banged on that door not once, but twice.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, he robbing the place. He knocked twice hard, just like the police.
Oh, no, sir.
You later saw that there were people in that residence, right?
I did not, sir.
You didn't notice the woman come out after the shooting from the residence?
Not until body camera footage later on, sir.
He was so busy with his eyes on the prize that he was trying to get, like he was a freaking deer, that he didn't even notice the lady came to open the door. Now, now, mind you, he was making it sound so criminal. Oh, he bammed on the door like this, even demonstrated it. It was dark on the inside. It didn't look like nobody, but yet you admitted to the garage being closed when you got there, and then suddenly it opened, but you didn't hear it open or see it open. It just magically opened. Like, let's continue.
And if you were so concerned about something happening at the residence, you could have gone up and knocked on the door yourself, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't gotten that far, sir.
Didn't think of that, did you?
So are you saying that would have been an improper thing to do?
That's not what I said, sir.
I know, but that is the question I'm asking. Would that have not been an improper thing to do?
In the timeline that we were involved in, sir, it wasn't that step that we were at.
Look at his eyebrows.
So you're sitting in the car and it
So they wasn't
Mr. Hill,
at that step. So they went from 0 to 100 is what he's telling us. Because they never got to that step. And that would have been an early step.
bangs on the door and then he comes back to the vehicle.
I was standing outside my car, sir.
Okay, you're standing outside your car with the door open.
Can you picture this? Andre is knocking on this woman's door trying to get in or whatever conversation text message they got, and he got this dude stalking him. Damn, leave him alone.
Yes, sir.
Hell.
Because why are you doing that again?
That's the way I do it every time for officer safety, sir.
Doing that again.
So you had safety in your mind. You were concerned.
Always.
But not enough to ask him for his name?
He even had to laugh. He even laughed. Like, dude, you're making a fool of yourself here.
Name. So you were concerned for your safety?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But you didn't know who he was. Why? I mean, ain't the ID the first thing that you ask a man when you walk up on his vehicle? I mean, since he can't park while being black and running your car in December.
If you had asked Mr. Hill for his name or his license and you relate that to dispatch, what type of information could you have gotten back?
Okay. He can answer that question. Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your driving history and address, driver's license number, date of birth, things of that nature, sir.
Would you have gotten back information as to whether he could have been a dangerous criminal if he were in that system like that?
Possibly.
You could have gotten back, if he had any, warrants?
Yes, sir.
You could have gotten back information as to whether he was even a licensed driver or not, couldn't you?
You didn't want to know
Yes,
all
sir.
that. Obviously. He ain't do none of that, y'all. Do that make sense?
And after he comes back to his vehicle, as you stated, he rummages around in the front seat area?
Yes, sir.
And then goes where? Where does he go?
In between our vehicles and back up towards the house again.
Okay. Is it at that point that you say something
Exactly.
to him? That
Yes,
you,
sir.
Okay. What did you say to him again?
What's going on?
What's going
And
on?
he didn't respond to you?
Not verbally, sir.
Not verbally. Well, what do you do?
Was your car
Sign
running at
language?
that time?
Yes, sir.
You've been a
Oh,
range
Michelle.
officer for the Army as well as for CPD. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Fired a lot of shots, huh? Fired a lot of shots.
Yes, sir.
And you've actually put your employer on notice, the Columbus Police Department, that you had hearing issues at some point in time. Is that correct?
After this incident, sir, yes.
What?
I wear hearing aids now.
Could it be all the firing you've been doing for
And
training?
when you told Mr.
Legend.
Hill to talk to you, was your vehicle running?
Yes, sir.
But you said he didn't say anything to you?
That's correct.
Is it impossible that he said something in response, but you just didn't hear him?
No, sir. I was looking right at him.
You can't hear though. Did you have your hearing aids, sir? You just got the hearing aids, or
The individuals at the house, Mr. Ronker and the neighbor, is it possible that they were saying things to you and you didn't hear them?
Who was that again, sir?
Mr. Ronker and the resident at 1062.
I never saw a resident at 1062 ever, sir.
what?
So you didn't hear any of that, and you didn't hear Mr. Hill make any response statement to you, and he just went up and kind of disappeared up and
Yes, sir.
And you stated that's at the time that Amy Detweiler arrived.
Approximately.
And you have a short conversation with her, right?
Yes, sir.
And you simply say something to the effect of, it's weird.
I believe I said something to, she asked me, what do we have? I said, I don't know, but something's not right.
Something's not right.
And I just want to point out that so basically the man walked right past him. Now we know he would have had to have the keys in his hand. He didn't hear no keys. He ain't see no keys. He watched the man walk in the garage and then used the garage as that was a threat to him because he was in the garage and he couldn't see him. But you seen him when he walked in. Man, y'all see this crap?
So is it at that time that all of
The
these
same nothing that he had in his hand when he walked past is the same nothing that he had in his damn hand when he shot him. And he should have known that. He put a weapon in his hand. Look at him.
things are kind of going off in your mind that something terrible could be happening with respect to Mr. Hill and this house at 1062 Oberlin?
Within approximately a few seconds after that, as we start up the driveway, sir.
And as you're approaching the driveway, you don't give any other information to her, do you?
No, sir. We've worked together for years.
Mm-hmm. He escalated it to his partner.
But saying something's not right could mean a lot of things, couldn't it?
My demeanor and body language gave Detweiler plenty of notice about what was going on, sir.
So now she your wife. Like she know everything about you.
You didn't have your gun out, did you?
No, sir.
So if Officer Detweiler stated that, as she did, that she believes you had your gun out, she's mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Now she know everything about you, sir. Like, whoa. I bet he probably want to roll that back now. Wait, let's see what he said about his partner. Hold on, because I missed it.
Information to her, do you?
No, sir. We've worked together for years.
But saying something's not right could mean a lot of things, couldn't it?
My demeanor and body language gave Detweiler plenty of notice about what was going on, sir.
But you didn't have your gun out, did you?
No, sir.
So if Officer Detweiler stated that, as she did, that she believes you had your gun out, she's mistaken.
Yes, sir.
He
So let me
blinking.
get this straight.
I just want to say he blinking too many damn times to be telling the truth.
You're going into a garage that is dark, correct?
I didn't know that I was going to go in the garage at that point, sir.
You're approaching a garage that was dark, correct?
Correct.
With an individual who, according to you, ignored your commands, right? And you think that person is in the garage, right?
Not at first.
Okay. But you continue to approach it?
I continued up the driveway until I saw a flash of light in the garage, sir.
Okay. And at that point in time, you got the idea that he was in the garage?
Yes, sir.
And you continue to approach it?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? And you still don't have your gun out?
No, sir.
He lying. He had it when his partner said he did. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your approach for a second. Your Honor, permission to publish, I already admitted.
Never
to the Elmo.
telling this man to put his hands
What's
up.
the exhibit
either.
number?
We'll start with State's Exhibit I.
All right, what we got here?
You may publish.
Thank you. Probably permission to post it as well. Whoa.
I don't know what that means.
Grand Rising,
All right,
James
Mr.
Money.
Boy, I'm displaying what's been marked as State's Exhibit I. Does this look familiar to you?
He can't
Yes,
see
sir.
or
I've seen the
hear.
courtroom.
Yes.
Nicole, I heard you. Nicole, I see that. What we looking at here?
So this is your vehicle here,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
and this is Mr. Hill's vehicle. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't like this here. Right. That's Mr. Hill's vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Can you, I believe there's a laser pointer up there. Can you show the ladies and gentlemen of the jury your path of travel?
He was a threat and passed by him that closely. Is that what he
From right here,
And
I
he should have
traveled
seen.
back this direction
Hold on.
and over towards this driveway.
Let me hit mute.
Do you go in front of this tree or do you go around this tree this way?
In front of the tree, this way.
And you walk up the driveway?
Yes, sir.
And where do you see Mr. Hill? You said you saw a glimmer of light in the garage.
You can't see the inside of the garage of where you'd be at, sir. It would be more up here.
Okay. Going to hand you another, or show you another photograph. We'll go State's Exhibit A48. Are you able to show from this photograph?
Back over here, sir.
Okay. He was back over there crouched down?
Yes, sir.
And what did you say or do as you saw him and he was crouched down?
Before I said anything, he stood up, and then as I shined my light on him, I said, something's not right here. Come out, show yourself.
Okay. And what did he do in response to your words?
At first, he stood there.
Okay. And then what?
Began to move towards me.
In what manner was he walking toward you?
Instead of coming straight out of the garage, it was kind of at an angle.
Okay. And then what happened next?
His body was bladed as he gets to the back of the car. And as he comes out to the side of the car, I see a silver revolver in his hand.
Okay. So let's talk about this for a bit. You said he pauses for a second before complying with your orders?
Yes, sir.
And you said, I think you told Mr. Collins that he was kind of sucking up to the side of the car.
Yes, walking at an angle.
Okay. You acknowledged that there wasn't a tremendous amount of room between the vehicle and the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were asked a question during your interview with BCI. You were asked what kind of pace is he walking at? And your response is, he's not running, he's not slow meandering to get there, but there is a quickened pace. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And then there was a question. He started to come out when you verbally reached out to him, right? And your answer was yes. He was in the far back corner. And when I said something not adding up, come out here, show yourself. And he had turned and started to come out of the garage. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And there's another question. Okay, so when you shouted, show yourself, he turned and started walking out. Would you say that he was obeying your commands? So I'm asking you this question now, Mr. Coy. Was he obeying your commands?
Partially, sir.
Partially. You told a man to come out, and he's coming out. Did you tell him to do anything else?
Show yourself.
And he was showing himself by coming out, wasn't he?
Wow.
Part of himself, sir.
Well, he was behind a Nissan Altima. What could he do more to show himself besides walking to you?
Not hide his right hand behind his leg.
Did you tell him to put his hands up?
So you're saying that he was hiding his right hand behind his leg?
He walked several steps. What normal people walk with swinging the arms. He was walking with his right hand staying behind his leg.
Hold on. He did not even tell this man to put his hands up. Welcome in, Chinetta. He did not ask him at all. If you were so worried about his hands, that should have been the first thing you said. And he didn't say the commands right. Show yourself. Come out here and show yourself. What happened to put your hands up? Let me see your hands or something. Like, what about you're under arrest or something? No, he wasn't. You was just harassing this man for no apparent reason. At this point, he was the threat.
At that point, you were concerned where his hands were?
Yes, sir.
But nowhere in this encounter did you say, show me your hands, did you?
It happened too fast, sir.
Nowhere in this encounter did you say, show me your hands.
I said, show yourself, sir.
When asked the question of when you shouted, show yourself, he turned and started walking out, would you say he's obeying your commands right there? Your response was, he is. He is responding to my commands. But and a normal reaction from my training and the thousands of times I've had somebody when I give that loud authoritative voice, the response normally is to like, hey, you got it. What's going on? I didn't. He was responding to me there, but he wasn't responding in a manner that was submissive. You remember saying that too?
Oh, wait. What? Man, what? He wanted him to bow down. I don't remember exactly what I said, but something to that effect. He definitely wanted, I said he wanted him to call him daddy. That's, man, what? Come on, man. Come on.
The agents on this. So would Mr. Hill still be alive if he was submissive to you?
Sustained.
Oh.
So you contend that he was not responding in a manner that was submissive, right?
Yes, sir.
What did you want him to do? See how they want, man. Listen, you pay attention. Pay attention. Look at him. You bastard. Like, for real. Like, what? Ugh. This right here. Let's go. Don't cry now.
You said he sucked up towards the vehicle. Everything said to me while he was responding to me, he was not being compliant with me. You remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
Where you see that at?
But you would agree with me, Mr. Coy, that this man was doing everything you asked him to do, wasn't he?
No, sir.
Asked and answered.
No. Overruled.
What's your answer, Mr. Coy?
No, sir.
So again, whoever said, damn if you do, damned if you don't in the chat, that's exactly what this is right here. One of them. He couldn't have did nothing right because he already had his mind made up what he wanted to do. And see, what he really wanted was for him to give him a reason. But he didn't. He didn't give him a reason. So had he gave him any type of reason, this man wouldn't be in jail right now. I can tell y'all that. So you do help when you don't comply. But to comply and it still happens, it is crazy, but that's the defense. And what they did after, I think, in combination. I'm just trying to see what's different about this one versus all the other ones that we see. And a lot of times you do have people ask, and it's they're not wrong, some of them, for asking like, what am I being put over for, or what am I this and that or whatever. But to me, you shouldn't even you can ask them, but if they don't want to answer, just leave it at that. Fight it in court. Don't even try to argue with them. Just take the damn ticket. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. Don't give him a reason. Don't give it to him. This dude was like, oh, he ain't gonna give it to me. So I'ma create it and I'ma just do it. His partner said he already had his weapon in his hand. He knew what he was doing. Let's go.
I'm going to back up a bit. As you're walking there up the garage and throughout this entire interaction, you had a mic on your chest, correct?
On my shoulder, sir.
On your shoulder. That communicates with whom?
Everyone.
EMS, maybe. Yeah.
And you would agree with me that it is your duty and responsibility to communicate important things to other police officers. Isn't that right?
When it's time, sir.
Exactly. When is it time?
Just to be clear, you never saw Mr. Hill with a weapon.
I thought what I saw to be a weapon, sir.
But you never saw Mr. Hill with a weapon, did you?
Asked and answered.
No, overruled.
You never saw Mr. Hill with a weapon, did you?
No, sir.
You fired 4 shots at him, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were aiming center mass.
Yes,
4
sir.
shots. Why do he tune up every time we get
And
hit?
you stated that you were attempting to stop the threat, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were attempting to do that by shooting him, correct?
As I was trained, sir.
After the shooting, you tell your partner, Amy Detweiler, to get a medic?
Yes, sir.
Get officer support?
Yes, sir.
And then you exit the scene, correct?
I just kind of wandered.
And at some point in time, Officer Bersardi came up to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he was trying to, I guess, talk to you and provide you comfort, right?
He was trying to get me to leave.
And you stated to Officer Bersardi, I got to find what I missed. Remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
Find what I missed.
Do you remember asking for a bottle of water?
Yes, sir.
And you're coughing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have asthma?
No, sir.
Mr. Coy, would it be safe to say that after the shooting, you really stopped doing your job as a police officer? Is that right?
I'm required to remove myself from the situation per our policies.
You didn't let officers know about your thoughts about things that could have been happening in the house, correct?
I went into shock, sir.
What?
So you didn't let any of the officers know that, correct?
Speak to anyone, sir.
All right. So no point in time did you call for backup?
I did not, sir.
Mr. Coy, isn't it true that you really never formulated an opinion that something serious was happening in that house, did you?
I'm sorry, sir?
You never formulated an opinion as to that there was something serious happening in that house, did you?
As we were walking up the driveway, I began to think that this could be a home invasion or a burglary. I just a couple months earlier, had a home invasion where I walked in on a ski mask person with a gun. I had three girls downstairs, one girl upstairs, duct tape. It was fresh in my mind.
Mr. Coy, so fresh that you never pulled your weapon out, did you?
Not until I saw a threat, sir.
So much of a threat that you saw that this incident was so powerful that you never even told anyone about it, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't radio dispatch, did you?
I told Officer Detweiler too, sir.
And the fact was that you had shot an unarmed man who didn't have a weapon, and then you just came up with this story later to cover yourself, correct?
No, sir.
And the first time that you let anyone know that you thought a burglary was happening is when you wrote that statement about a month after this happened.
No, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Redirect.
Proceed, Your Honor.
You may.
Adam.
Yes, sir.
Yell, gun. He's got a gun because you're lying.
No, sir.
Did you yell? Did you respond with deadly force because you saw what you perceived as a deadly threat in his hand?
Yes, sir.
Describe what you saw in his hand.
See, normally, y'all hear him, what you perceived. Normally, this would have got him off.
No, overruled.
What did you see in his hand?
I saw silver, metal, thin in the front, thick in the back, coming up at me. A silver revolver.
He saw a key. That's what he just described. Flat in the front, round in the back. Ain't that a damn key? That's all the man had in his hand was keys and a cell phone. So he ain't about to leave us with his thought.
When you were coughing, is that another term? Were you dry heaving?
I was dry heaving. I was about to be sick.
If he was dry heaving, he should have threw up. He was just coming off of lunch. How many of y'all dry heave and don't throw up on a full belly? Let me know.
When you have you had a microphone on the shoulder, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it common practice, Adam, that when you're investigating something at a house, a dark garage, and stuff like that, you get on the microphone and go, "Hey, I'm investigating a dark garage."
Absolutely.
Just want to let everybody know.
No, sir.
How many officers are out in the Division of Columbus at the midwatch at that point in time on run?
But surely you would let them know if you highly suspicious of somebody, you would have called for backup, right? Because you thought he was suspicious and you thought he had a revolver in his hand, right? But he didn't, did he? And after you did it, did you?
No idea, sir.
Hey, send backup. I may have something's not making sense. Have you ever done that?
Yes, sir.
When?
When it was needed, sir.
Why didn't you call SWAT in this situation as you were going up the driveway, Mr. Coy?
You don't call SWAT for a burglary, sir.
When did we get to a burglary, sir? You see that? We had a burglary here. At what point did they say this was a burglary? Wasn't this a man sitting in his vehicle? Like, what are we talking about here?
Pearson asked if he was complying. Your
The lies they want to lead a jury with. Get the hell out of here.
answer was he was partially complying, right?
Yes, sir.
Where was his left hand?
In the air.
Is that compliance?
Yes.
Was his right hand in the air?
No.
Partial compliance. Compliance.
When did he ask him to put his hands up? Like, dude, like what is he talking about? He didn't even ask him to put his hands up. So how can he comply with something that he was never asked?
You told Officer Detweiler that something was not right, right?
Yes, sir.
Did a person ever come outside from the house while you were waiting with Mr. Hill on the street?
No, sir.
Didn't turn out to be right, did it? The fact that he told you someone's coming out.
Yes, sir.
Did a person ever come to the door or ever turn on a light inside based on the knocking?
No, sir.
Okay, at what do you mean by ever? Because the person did come out right after he unalived the guy that she was taking 2 hours to get ready for. Genius.
Was the person parked in front of where you were dispatched to, 1054 Oberlin?
No, sir.
Was the person minding his own damn black business or not? Or was he bothering you or breaking any laws by any chance, sir?
Was it right, was it?
No, sir.
Was the person parked in front of 1062 Oberlin when you pulled up behind the vehicle?
No, sir.
Where was
Do the person have a right to park any damn where they want to or not?
the person parked?
1070, sir.
Was it right, was it?
No, sir.
Did the person go into 1070?
No, sir.
Was it right, was it?
You seemed odd, sir.
When the person went to 1062, was that right based on
So because he didn't know the address that he was going to be walking to, then that was highly damn suspicious and caused him to pull out his weapon and fire 4 shots, center mass, unaliving Andre Hill.
your encounter at that point in time?
I wasn't sure, sir.
Wasn't right, was it?
No.
Did the tag come back to the area that you were dispatched to?
No, sir.
Wasn't right, was it?
No, sir.
A lot of things not right, right, Mr. Coy?
That's correct, sir.
Yeah, including you, number 1. That's crazy, man. What are we talking about here, sir? Somebody take the mic.
Let's talk about contacts. I have contacts.
I don't want to talk about
Can you see the screen up there?
Yes, sir.
Because why?
Because I'm wearing glasses, sir.
Okay. Can you read something?
Wait a minute
For the
now.
record, I have a cell phone in my hand. Can
Hold
you-
the hell on now. Is his vision impairment about to be our problem? Like, what are we talking about here? His vision impairment cost Andre Hill his life. Is that where we going here? Because he didn't go get a new eye exam for the damn year. Is Andre Hill fault? Where are we going with this? Let's listen. Like, what?
Read something from there?
What are
No,
we
sir.
talking about?
You need reading glasses to do that?
Yes, sir.
Where did we just go? What are we talking about? This don't even make sense.
I believe on direct that you
Somebody
told
stop
Mr.
him.
Hill while you were there, correct?
Yes, sir.
You told him that you had to be there and talk to him because you were sent on a run.
Yes, sir.
How fast did this event occur from the time?
And Mr. Hill told him to that why he was there. And he told him that he was about to leave, yet he continued to stalk the man. So he lied.
Time you started to going up the thing when you first saw the shining light and you told him come out? Was it 10, 15, 20 seconds, sir?
Told him.
Maybe a little longer.
The entire time, right?
Yes, sir.
Until the time when you saw him suck up against the car until he came edge and you saw the glint of silver steel. How long did that take?
Fractions of a second, sir. Sub-second.
Pointing out he never seen glimpse of silver steel. It was silver damn keys. On a silver round keychain, probably. You know, the circles that keys be on. He mistaked that for a revolver. Apparently because he can't see without his contacts or what? I mean, where was we going with that? I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm gonna have to hit the replay.
Are you required to give a written statement?
No, sir.
Are you required to sit down with BCI agents and give an hour's interview?
No, sir.
Why did you do that?
I wanted to tell everyone what happened, sir.
Oh, so now he did Andre Hill a favor.
Try to explain your encounter with the person that Mr. Pearson kept asking about, whether you saw a text or not a text. Were you trying to explain what happened at the car?
Yes, sir.
Why was
When you were
shooting at
talking to the BCI people and wrote out your statement, were you trying to explain that the person made an X with his hand?
Yes, sir.
Is that in your statement?
No, sir.
He made an X with his hand? Where? What? I ain't heard that one.
The X in
Yes,
the hand?
yes, sir, that is.
In both, correct?
Yes, sir.
If I'm sitting there and I put an X at my hand, where's the left hand going to be?
On the right-hand side, sir.
Where's the left elbow going to be if you're sitting in a car?
On the windowsill,
Oh,
sir.
we back to the hokey pokey again? Wait.
Case is solved. You didn't use the word elbow, did you, in your statement?
Case is solved, yeah. It is solved. I mean, we could end it right here. He just said a whole mouthful. The case is closed. And Bubba is awaiting.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Nanny boo boo. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail.
All right, but we gonna let him finish and we gonna get the heck up out of here. Like, they had me cussing this whole time. Like, what?
You gave a 10-page statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you try to put the basics of what happened that night?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you try to answer every question truthfully and honestly as you remembered it when you met with the detectives or the agents?
Yes, sir.
Hey, this guy is just putting more nails in a coffin. That's all he doing. Like, what? We done with him. We is done with him.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much.
Bye, Adam. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
No, thank you, sir. Like, what? What in the world did we just watch? What did we just watch? So now we see. I mean, this dude was a complete idiot inside and out. Shout out to Debbie. What does that mean? What he does have to explain his actions. Like, I am just so confused at that last part. Didn't dude just put several? What? He put some bolters in his dang on coffin, right? He put some screws in the coffin. Screws is stronger than nails, right? Yeah, that didn't help him at the end. Like, that just further showed how much of an idiot both of them were, allegedly. But yeah, so we're gonna be following the sentencing for this one. And also, let me see. Let y'all want to see what the family got to say. I think I got the videos put up, so we might as well. Let's look at what his partner said right quick. This only a couple minutes. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Now I couldn't help but notice a glimpse of some keys, like when this first came on. Hold on. See, I told y'all. He was explaining the keys. He said what was he said? Flat at the top, round at the back. Ain't them some damn keys? Look at the ring too. This the silver thing that he seen. Is that what we are to believe? What a freaking idiot. But we already know it ain't about no dang on keys at all. her confidence and the lady that's gonna speak after her blows me away. I mean, they probably don't follow cases like that to know that even though you can see something happening, they will tell you not to believe your lying eyes, but thank God this worked out the way it should, and hopefully he get the time that he's supposed to get. Oh shoot, that's right, I ain't even got it up on here, my bad. I done played a whole video. Y'all ain't seen nothing. We gonna have to take that back. I'm glad I happened to look over here. Hold on. We gotta go back to the partner. Here it go. Here it comes.
Now to our continuing coverage, as a former Columbus police officer is currently on trial for murder. The second day of testimony is wrapped up this evening after what's been an emotional day in court. Former CPD officer Adam Coy is on trial for the December 2020 shooting death of Andre Hill.
That is Andre.
Attorneys played the body camera video of both Coy and the next officer to respond to the scene on Oberlin Drive, Officer Amy Detweiler. Detweiler says Coy yelled, "He's got a gun," then fired shots, but no gun was found.
When you realized there was no gun, did you see Adam Coy?
Yes.
Was it fair to say he was upset?
Yes.
Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you saw when you guys realized there was no weapon.
Well, I'm not sure that I realized that there was no weapon. We didn't find anything around him. There was just, obviously there's an extreme amount of emotion that occurs. No officer intends to do that. So unless there's a reason,
I ain't too
he
sure
was
about that.
man.
visibly upset.
After Detweiler, it was more technical testimony, including the crime scene technician and a forensic pathologist. If you want to watch, we have full live coverage of the trial. Sir Adam Coy is on trial for the December 2020 shooting death of Andre Hill. Attorneys played the body camera video of both Coy and the next officer to respond to the scene on Oberlin Drive, Officer Amy Detweiler. Detweiler says Coy yelled, and the next officer to respond to the scene on Oberlin Drive. Former CPD officer Adam Coy is on trial for the December 2020 shooting death of Andre Hill. Attorneys played the body camera video of both Coy and the next officer to respond to the scene on Oberlin Drive, Officer Amy Detweiler. Detweiler says Coy yelled, "He's got a gun," then fired shots.
There's the gun right there. And like I was saying, y'all couldn't see it before, but this is what he was describing. Flat and round at the top. A dang on key. That's what I see.
But no gun was found.
When you realized there was no
We'll
gun,
get to the family.
did you see Adam Coy?
Let's listen in now to Andre Hill's family.
Even the FOP president just said this, you don't get these sort of verdicts. So this is almost historic to get a verdict like this. Did it come as a surprise at all? Or were you fearful that you wouldn't hear the guilty verdict that you wanted to hear?
No, I wasn't fearful because I know what I saw. I know what happened. I know what he did. So, I mean, there was no question in my mind.
What about the FOP president? He literally just said right before you came out, Andre wasn't complying. He was told to put his hands up, to show his hands, and he wasn't compliant. But the video shows something different.
The jury spoke different as well.
What's it been like to have to wait 4 years for this moment?
It's been way too long. It's been way too long, but I'm glad that it's over. I mean, it won't bring Andre back, but hopefully it will set a precedent across the board for everyone else. This is not something that we can tolerate.
What is your message to people who have been through something similar? Where do you get strength from?
My family, my friends, God. I know what's right and what's wrong. So just keep the fight alive.
When you saw Adam Coy walk back to the back of the courtroom and you knew he was going to jail tonight.
I didn't see him. We left the courtroom by then.
But
So I
knowing
didn't
that
see
he will
him.
be behind bars tonight, what are your thoughts?
I'm glad. I mean, because at least he's still breathing. My brother is gone, so at least he still has his life. I mean, that's really not a fair trade, but it is what it is.
What do you do from now until sentencing? What do you do from now?
Try to pick up the pieces of my life and just keep moving on. I mean, that's all you can do.
Do you think you want to address him at sentencing, do a victim impact statement?
I probably will.
What would you say to him? Anything?
I don't know yet.
This process is probably far from over because I'm sure his team is going to appeal this verdict.
And that's fine.
Thank you.
We've been told that's normal, so we're ready for it. That's fine.
As far as the family tonight, what are you guys going to do together?
Get some sleep. Get some sleep and relax and just try to decompress from everything. I mean, that's all we can do.
After this verdict today, as we report on this, what do you want people to remember about Andre or keep in mind about him?
Andre was the life of the party, like we've been saying from the very beginning. He did not see this coming. He didn't deserve that. He's smiling down on us right now. You guys want to say anything?
How are you feeling?
I'm happy this is over. Basically, I'm just happy that we got the verdict. The jury saw this right. We're just happy this day is over.
And how emotional?
Okay, now this is another one that happened at the same time that this one happened that we gonna be following as well. So I'm gonna let y'all see this, and we gonna end on this one.
Today's verdict comes nearly 9 months after a mistrial was declared in the murder trial of former Franklin County Sheriff's Deputy Jason Meade. The mistrial was for a hung jury. Both of these shootings occurred just a couple of weeks apart from each other. With a retrial coming soon, 10 TV's Carly Dion looks at how this verdict could impact the Meade case. Carly?
Yolanda, tonight I sat down with Casey Goodson Jr.'s mother, Tamala Payne. She tells me she's relieved to be seeing accountability for the actions of police officers and that the verdict in the Coy trial gives her hope.
It's always a shock when you see that somebody actually finds a police officer
It's so
guilty.
many,
Nearly
y'all.
4 years ago, Tamala Payne says her son was shot and killed by former Franklin County Deputy Jason Meade. This happened more than 2 weeks
Ridiculous.
before Andre Hill was shot and killed by former Columbus police officer Adam Coy. Payne says Monday's guilty verdict gives her faith that justice will be served in her son's case, which previously resulted in a mistrial.
You cannot take a life for no reason because it was a mistake or what you perceived.
Sean Walton, the family's attorney, says this is only the beginning as they continue to work toward police reform.
Right now, we have 4 officers on trial for murder, and so we have 1 down.
4.
And I would say that we're looking for 3 more convictions here because that's
Okay.
how we stop this.
Walton says they're seeing a pattern of officers using the same
Pattern.
defense in cases like this. They had to make a split-second decision when they were afraid for their own life.
They're doing that because they understand the law and how to explain away their actions in order to not be held accountable by the law.
No Columbus police
Bingo.
officer has been found guilty of murder charges for an on-duty related shooting in recent history. When asked about the impact this could have on the Jason Meade case, Coy's defense attorney, Mark Collins, who is also representing Meade, says every case is unique and different.
In this situation, you have someone who's unarmed and there's no weapon. In the Jason Meade case, Mr. Goodson had a weapon and was showing it at the scene.
Fraternal Order of Police President Brian Steele says he's concerned about the precedent this verdict sends moving forward.
That will have ripple effects through law enforcement community.
See, that's why they don't want it to happen, because it'll have a ripple effect. They understand what happens to one happens to all. See, you allow one to go to jail, they all gonna go down. That's what they don't want. But now that we got a full immunity in office, I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all. For real.
Not just here in Columbus, in the state and the greater nation. There's no doubt about that.
Steele says the job.
So let's just continue to let them keep saying that they fear for their life and they thought it was this and thought it was that and my bad and mistrial and get off. Let's keep that going.
Of a police officer comes down to making split-second decisions under immense stress, and Coy was dealing with an individual who was not complying.
Murder, we are going down a path. Just send a message.
Where's they somebody wasn't complying at? See how the news just follows that BS?
Every officer in this county that your split-second decision can now be led to murder. It is absolutely insane.
But Walton says he believes the time for change and reform in policing is now.
I think we're at a juncture in this city where we have 4 officers on trial for murder. After these 4 murder convictions, we'll see a huge change in the culture in policing here.
Now, the next trial for the case against Meade is scheduled to begin at the end of February. Carly Dion, 10 TV News.
So February 2025 and then November for this guy. This is crazy. Now, I mean, it's like with the news, I like them because we pretty much get our narrative from them, but I would like for it to be correct. You know what I'm saying? At every time. Because a lot of times it's not. But I do know that they follow the police. Like that's where they get their stories from. That's where they get their news from. And they go by them. They always have. Grayson said, great show. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much, Grayson. Welcome to Sleuth Nation. And yeah, welcome. They don't want accountability. They want to be able to, to keep doing it. Keep on doing it. Exactly. But we see where the problem is at, though. We see it. So that flat part where the keys were, the flat parts were the keys. The round part was the car remote. But in his eyes, it was a revolver for sure. Very much so heartbreaking. Shoot, we got to keep our head on a swivel. We got to pay attention to what's happening. But hey, you can always make sure y'all subscribe so y'all can pay attention over here with me, because we definitely own it. So I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. And we gonna get up out of here. Justice for Andre Hill. And peace and love, y'all. We out. That thumbs up on the way out if y'all didn't. Make this go viral, baby. Let's go. Run, tell that.